listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in, gone, clock in, gone, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. Time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, go defense. Defense, gone, defense. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Defense, put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat, yeah, we all eating. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in, gone, clock in, gone, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in, gone, clock in, gone, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone, defense, defense, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas Doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them. Defense, put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods. Plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds. The hot boys shining. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put sit up forget all this track fans. That we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My
you.
man West Coast from this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. How you guys doing today? It is your boy West Coast, man. Live for our regular scheduled programming. You guys already know we was on a bye week last weekend, so you already know how it is, man. With some people, you know, when we go on vacation, man, you gotta find us. You know what I'm talking about? I was on vacation. You know what I'm saying? Not vacation, because I was still putting out much quality content, but yeah, your boy was on vacation. I was out of here. But hey, man, and we had National Scouts Day, so it was a big weekend this weekend, man. But what's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Hey, I'm live in the building, and I got Boss Cowboy with me, man. How you doing this morning, man? Boss, can you hear me? No, he can't hear me. All right, so let me change this up real quick. So yeah, Boss is gonna fix that up, and then we'll have him back in here in about 2 seconds, man. Two shakes of a dog's tail.
Right in.
All right, so we back up in here. How you doing this morning, man?
How you doing?
Shoot, I'm good, man. I'm good. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little irritated, man. You got mad teams doing deals and trades. Dallas Cowboys did do a trade over, I guess you could say over the weekend. But we traded a 7th round pick for one Michael Bennett. We kind of talked about that. When was that? Thursday when it happened. But there's also been some other stuff that's happened. There's also been some other stuff that's happened. A guy that I was looking for. I mean, I ain't gonna say I was looking. I gotta stop saying I was looking for, because you know, if it makes sense, there's a good chance the Dallas Cowboys won't do it. I'm just being honest with you. If it makes sense, if it makes too much damn sense, there's a really good chance the Cowboys won't do it. So yeah, man, you know, it was reported this morning that that Leonard Williams was traded to. Who did he go to? Let me see where he went to. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Giants, bro.
Yes, so he did come to our division. Huh?
The Giants. He went to the Giants, bro.
All right, so yeah. So I'll just read it off. Let me read it off. Jets are sending former first-round defensive line Leonard Williams to the Giants for a 3rd round and a future 5th round pick via Ian Rappaport. I ain't gonna lie, man, that kind of pisses me off, bro. It kind of pisses me off because the Giants are the same team who tried to build their defensive line just 3 years ago, and they went the route of just buying a bunch of players, and it didn't work for them. But one thing that pisses me off is the fact that it didn't work, and their team did not get up on trying to do it. It's almost kind of like the New England Patriots. Like the New England Patriots freaking drafted a wide receiver out of Arizona State. I think he's a little banged up, a little injured. So he didn't work out too well for him. Then they went after Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, you know, he just was Antonio Brown, his normal douchey self. And that didn't work out. And then they went and traded for freaking Mohamed Sanu from Atlanta. So it's like, it just irritates me, man, because I see teams out here doing what they got to do, man. Like, I see teams out here doing what they got to do it, man. Like, I see teams out here doing what they got to do to make their team better. And it just feels like the Dallas Cowboys just, I don't know, either we have too much faith in our own, which is, I mean, it's a good thing to have faith in your own players, but it just feels like we might either have too much faith in our own players or too much faith in our own system, which prevents us from going after eager and players that want to play for us, man. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I don't get how the Dallas Cowboys can have a need in front of them, man, and just ridiculously overlook it, man. You know what I'm saying? While other teams, like the Giants, aren't even really, like the Giants went and got Leonard Williams for next year. Like, they didn't even get him for this year. Like, they went and got him for next year. The best team in their division with the best running back, they played next week. They played 5 days from now, 4 days from now. You think Leonard Williams is going to do anything help them beat the Dallas Cowboys? No. They lose to the Dallas Cowboys, they're basically eliminated, bro, because then they will have 2 losses in their division to the same team. And that same team has a better record than them. So, in essence, if the Giants lose when they lose to us this coming, was it Monday or Sunday, their season, in essence, will be over, bro. Like, if you really look at it, you know what I'm saying? Like, their season theoretically will be over because they'll have 2 losses to us, and we're number 1 in the division. And then they have, 6 losses already, bro? There's no way they're getting a wild card. So you're telling me a team whose season is over is making moves like they still in it? Man, what the hell is going on, man?
I just did a deep dive article into kind of like, Stephen Jones and his pitch. So I got a good finger on the pulse of how we think. And everybody know that we build through the draft. And so since we build through the draft.
What does that mean when you say build through the draft? Because that is just such a everybody says we build through the draft. Okay, but what does that mean? Like, because we build through this year's draft?
That means that we prioritize trying to get acquisitions and players on this team in the draft, primarily because it's a lot of faith in Will McClay's ability to find good players, and he's proven to do that. But also it's the budgeting benefit of building your team through the draft because, like, for instance, the value of Dak Prescott being a 4th rounder but playing like a 9-figure quarterback is what allowed Dallas to accumulate so much money in the time he's been playing quarterback. So, we projected to have $81 million by 2020, but that's only because we've been staying very disciplined on avoiding trades and free agents that generally cost more money. And Steven broke it down like this. He said, for a bad player, you'll pay a good price. For a good player, you'll pay a great price. For a great player, you'll pay an elite price. And that's for the most part true. You always pretty much mostly overpay when you're going into trades and you're going into free agency. That's you overpay. But when my question is, and the thing you said that was to me on point, you said it's almost like we too addicted to the way we do it.
Like we're not even open to looking at other options.
Right. And it's like, but we're open, but it takes a crisis for us to do it. Right. We're not a team. Like if you look at the past trades within this last week, the people that's been making the trades are the contenders.
Yep. San Francisco.
Wow. Yeah, San Francisco.
New England.
And then Russell Wilson team.
Seattle.
Like everybody that's like they trying to plug pieces right now. So it's almost like, it's when you at the stage we're in where we're for the most part built. And you can say we're 2, maybe 3 players away from being in the top 4 talent-wise. This is the time to where you get aggressive, but we so bogged down in building through the draft that we are now not doing what the other teams are doing. Other teams will go get a safety. San Fran to say, we need to give Garoppolo some help because our defense is solid, but we need to – so we are overpaid for who? Sanders, right? It's no doubt that it was an overpayment for a lot of these teams. But when you saying, okay, this is the year that we feel like we got our best chance and we've been building 5 years for this, this is when you overspend.
Yep.
And let me give you a perfect example because I put this in the article I just wrote. I wrote an article saying 5 reasons Stephen Jones' public pressure for team-friendly deals don't add up. That's the name of the article I just posted. This is the deal. And I put this in the article, even while we was obviously bleeding after the Rams lost and we was bleeding from D tackle, it was obviously the obvious reason we lost that game was defensive tackle. We passed on sure to go for budget. And their budget reach was Tristan Hill. Go work some magic. Go find us, even if it's in the second round, somebody that should have a top 10 impact. And it was a reach where you could have just plugged that hole with a Daniels, with a Sue, with a Snacks, and we would have been fine. Yeah. And we still right now are bleeding at D tackle because we always trying to fix stuff through the draft. That's what I mean by building through the draft.
Yeah, when I hear building through the draft, what I hear is we have our set way of doing stuff, so we don't feel that we need to take chances. And I'm gonna be honest with you, whenever I hear a team say that they build through the draft when you have problems in the middle of your season, that is the most arrogant, backwards thing I've ever heard in my life. You want to know why? Because the draft. How can you build in? It's like this. It's like if you were building a house, right? In the middle of you building a house, you realize that damn, the inside walls aren't as strong as we thought they were. And then I say, okay, well, fix it, bro. Just fix it. And you say, well, we can't. Why? Because we only build at the beginning. But yeah, but what are you gonna do? Just complete the house and just let the inside walls just fall down? No, you're gonna stop. You're gonna prioritize that, and you're gonna go do what you got to do. You don't build your team through the draft. You build your team moment by moment. You know what I'm saying? There should never be one time where you allow that time to be the only time where you build your team. Why? Because what if other opportunities preclude you in the future? That means you just limit yourself to everything else that's available to any one team. And my question to you is this. What happens in a year? What happens in a draft year, where your draft isn't as strong? Like just flat out. Like what happens what happens in a year like 2019 where you have, I would say, almost all of them except for who? None of them are not playing. Donovan Wilson does not play. I mean, you can say Tony Pollard play if you want to be technical. You know what I'm saying? He does play, but he don't play. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying, Boss Cowboy? If I ask you, Boss Cowboy, does Tony Pollard play? The first thing you're going to say is, nope, not enough. I mean, he do, but he don't. He do, but he don't play. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, like, what happens? Like, that's the thing that sucks about my Dallas Cowboys is, like, where are the contingency plans where when the way you do it does not work? Like, I told myself my mentor told me, I ain't gonna take his shine. A really older man told me this. He said, West Coast, never go in business with a man who never go into business with a person who will not take in consideration failure. Basically meaning, don't go into business with anybody that can't see their plan not working. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's like, I thought about that for a moment. I'm like, well, why would I think like that? Like, why would I would want to think I would go in with someone that's all business and everything going, but it makes sense because if you are not thinking of a contingency plan, life happens. You can have this great product, and then guess what? Life happens. Don't work that way. Can't even do that. Then what happens? What is the next thing? Because you got to remember, life continues to happen. So do you just put, if what you're playing in the draft doesn't work, then you just turn that, you just have no plan now? No. The Dallas Cowboys can build a foundation. I mean, this is a dumb statement that we build through the draft. Everybody builds through the draft. Every single team builds through the draft. It's just a matter of are you good in the draft or not? It's funny because the teams who are good, who are quote unquote good at drafting, they say, "Oh, we build through the draft because that's what we're good at." No, that means that you're limited. In my opinion, that means that you're limited. That's what, in my opinion, because good teams build their teams moment by moment.
I think your best example is you, because we talked about this on the phone. I think if you said it the way that you talked about the New England Patriots, they'll get it better. Because like we was talking on the phone and you were saying, look how New England addressed the receiver problem, right? So they went and tried to get
They drafted
one in the first round. He got injured. Like if that was us, we'd have been like, okay, then the next man go have the ball. No, they said, okay, what else we go do? Go get AB. That didn't work. They said, okay, what else we gonna do? Because we still got that need, right? Let's go get Sanu. So they didn't give up on feeling that need because the first attempts didn't work. That's what West Coast is saying when he's saying contingency plan. Yeah, so Tristan Hill was drafted to be the rescuer of the defensive tackle need, right? So now we see it's not working. But you know what Dallas is doing? Band-Aids. You know what New England kept doing? Let's keep at it because we know that's still a need.
Yeah.
So if you get it right in the draft, then you can leave it alone. But if you get it wrong in the draft, then you still should be just as aggressive about filling that need, especially when the goal is for that year. And Stephen Jones seems to prioritize budgets and future over now.
Yeah.
See, because you can't get out of cap hell unless you're extremely disciplined. So I do have to commend him for his discipline and his ability to be able to just kind of watch a lot of deals just go by the wayside and don't kind of get in a hurry to jump into the free agency frenzy. He doesn't. But at the same time, like if you're saying you build through the draft, then build through the draft when you're building. But when you build, you contend with just doing what you got to do to contend. So every now and then, if your car break down, you got to go to work. That means you have to probably overspend for a car because you got to get to work, period. Now, if you got 2 cars or 3 cars, well, then a car is not an emergency for you to survive. So then you can take your time and shop for the next best deal when you shopping for a car.
Yep.
But see, we try to take emergencies and treat them like they're not emergencies because we like to get everything cheap. Yep. And that's really what Stephen Jones likes to do. And cheap has worked for us, and cheap has got us out of salary cap hell, but cheap ain't going to win you no Super Bowls.
Nope. I'm going to tell you guys right now, go look at a team in the last 10 years and go see. I'm going to be honest with you, almost every team that has won the Super Bowl and not necessarily been in cap hell, because I don't really consider being in cap hell, right? Like if you have a bunch of good players on your team and you paying for them, that's just kind of how it is. Like if you go ask a millionaire in his garage and he opens up his garage, he got Lamborghini, Ferrari, Bentley, Porsche, BMW, brand news. You ask him like, damn, bro, your insurance bill sure is high. You know what he gonna say? I don't know, bro. I just pay it. You know what I'm saying? That's the luxury of having these types of things. When you have these types of toys and these types of amenities, there's the things that come with them. So it's like when the Philadelphia Eagles were over budget in 2017 and they spent all this money. Do you guys think they actually was tripping after they won the Super Bowl? No, you weren't. Why? Because that's what the money is for. The money, you have the money so that you can spend in order to acquire a Super Bowl. But it's like somewhere in Dallas, we've gotten more concerned with concerned with maintaining that bottom line versus you're cutting in and out. We've gone so hard on being winning on the budget line than we are winning on the field. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, at some point when you're trying to win a Super Bowl, there should be a point of desperation where you're like, man, I'm throwing all this out the window. Man, we got a team that can win right now. And that's what I was saying. That's my video that I made the other day when I said, are the Cowboys pretenders or are they contenders? And this is before Leonard Williams. This was just off of the 49ers and the goddamn you had 3 teams, the first 3 teams in the NFL that made moves this year. Let me tell you who they were. Let me tell you the combination record of those guys was like, 7, 14. They were 20-2. 3 teams with a combination record of 20-2 made the first trades, big trades to start the season off. You want to know why San Francisco traded for a big name player? You want to know why? Because they understand we have been in purgatory for the last 20 years. We first have our chance out of purgatory. I am not about to sacrifice that so I can talk about what player I'm going to try to get in 2020. What are you talking about? Jesus can come back. The apocalypse can come back. Zombie apocalypse can come back. Man, there's so many things that can happen between now and then. We about to get this ring now. That's desperation. See, the Patriots, come on, Patriots, how many more weapons do the GOAT need? The GOAT, like you're not trading for wide receivers for Dak. You're not trading for wide receivers for Deshaun Watson, guys who are good in the NFL, but they still trying to figure it out. They still trying to win their first ring. They're trading for guys who have 6 rings already. Like, I'm Tyrese'ing right now. What more do you want from me? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what irritates me. Like, you have people who already got it, who want more. Bro, your internet is horrible. They are getting more.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. We just got to go that Wi-Fi part.
My internet better. I will do the Wi-Fi code. Now, check this out. Sometimes, and this is with all of us, man. This is with you. This is with me. This is with Stephen Jones. This is with Jerry Jones. This is with a lot of us. Dak.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we gonna have to make everybody to hit that support button so boss come out and get an Ethernet cord and stop with this Wi-Fi. I don't want one of them boys in Texas still think that Wi-Fi is king. I don't get it. But yeah, man, that was just kind of like my quick thoughts. Let's jump into some of these comments box real quick. Janelle Hill says West Coast. That's right. We need that ring now. Anthony says and we can drop him at the end of the season and save $8 million on cap. I don't know who y'all talking about. Adam Galashaw says Dallas scared to spend money because they haven't paid Dak or Coop yet, I believe. I mean, the thing about it is they're not scared to spend money because they gave Jalen Smith, a guy who wasn't even up for a contract extension, and they also gave Lael Collins, a guy who wasn't ever up for a contract extension. So I don't think they're necessarily scared. They'll spend money. They'll definitely spend money. But I just think that the Dallas Cowboys are scared to spend money outside of anything that's a Dallas Cowboy. Like if you're not a Dallas Cowboy already, like the thoughts of giving you a lot of money to come in and do something, that's very intimidating to the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you saw that in free agency. What do we do in free agency? Absolutely nothing. And then to be honest with you guys, if you honestly, like, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. The average draft pick, the most people's draft usually have 1 at 2 in the most that will play in the same year. The average team's draft class is exactly like our draft class. They're not playing, except for your first round pick. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know a lot of people are looking at us like, oh, this draft class was horrible. It was a bump. It really wasn't. It was just an average draft class. We got a draft class that everybody else in the NFL got. The only difference is we didn't do this exponential thing that we usually get when we get this guy that we never heard of in the 3rd round that comes out in balls, and this guy that's in the 5th round, 4th round, pick 117 that ends up being your franchise quarterback. It feels like they're trying to use the Dak model to get every player. Like, you're not going to find Dak in every round, like every position. It does not work like that. Like, some of these guys you're going to have to pay for. And think about this. If we don't find Dak, we're paying for a quarterback right now. If you don't have Dak, you're paying for a quarterback right now from somebody. So it's like, for me, if you're not paying the most expensive positions, it makes no sense for you to have a hole in the D tackle. Because if you have a hole in your D tackle, why the hell you ain't paid your quarterback then? That's the type of stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're not going to pay your quarterback, if you're not going to pay your wide receiver, the guys who actually score, you had better pay them dudes who stop them dudes from scoring. You can't just be screwing people on both ends. Like, that is asking a lot. That is asking a lot. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's the pushback that I give people. I say, hey, then why we have holes then? Because I can see if we ain't paying Dak and we ain't playing Coop because we trying to get this big name defensive tackle so we can stop them boys from running. I get it. But why haven't we're not paying Dak so we can get Michael Bennett? And I love Michael Bennett now because he's a Cowboy. I told you I was petty like that. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what we're doing right now makes no sense. We have holes. We have the money to fix it. Fix it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for the Dallas Cowboys to have the holes that they have. Boss Cowboy, you still with me or your internet tripping?
I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you log off and then log back in because it always seems like it works better.
Okay,
Hey, I'm going to still be on this subject, so don't trip. So yeah, man. So
We'll just shut down and come all.
I'll still be on this subject. You know how we do it on our shows, man. We'll talk about one subject the whole damn show if it's interesting. Hey, we ain't got Molly over here. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got nobody to tell us what's the next subject. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So I don't get that's the type of situation. I mean, I love that comment and I appreciate you for that comment, man. That comment kind of set me off a little bit because it just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. You're not paying someone over here, but then you have holes over here. Like if you're not gonna pay the guys who score the touchdowns, you need to at least pay the guys who stop the guys from scoring the touchdowns. And we don't have those guys. You need to go pay them. I need to take my sweater off. Now, a couple people keep asking me, West Coast, what are your needs? What do you want to trade for, West Coast? We got a week before this. We got a couple days before this trade deadline's up. What do you want to trade for, West Coast? I'm going to tell you guys what my needs are right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, cornerback is not one. I'm sorry. Cornerback is not one. Here are my needs right now for the Dallas Cowboys. Defensive tackle. First. Second need, offensive line. Second. Third need. What's your third need? What y'all think your third need is right now? Tell me. What's your third need right now? What's up with you, Sarah? What's up with you, man? What's our third need? I'll tell you. Let's see who out here paying attention to our team. Who out here paying attention to our team? Who out here just listening to mainstream media getting fed? Strong safety? No, not strong safety. Not strong safety. I'm going to tell you what it is. Wide receiver. How can wide receiver not be a need when you have Amari Cooper barely played last week? Then he didn't play against the Jets game. Then he was hurt before the season even started. Hey, you guys remember when I told you guys that Amari Cooper went down at practice and the whole world crucified me? Mike Fisher even went on there and said, you have these so-called fake insiders. I was the fake insider. You have these fake insiders out here reporting stuff and they don't even know what they're talking about. Well, all I'm saying is since I reported that Amari Cooper went down at practice, he ain't been the same, bruh. Them legs ain't never been the same. They ain't been. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, man, the Dallas Cowboys, we lost. The only game Amari Cooper did not play in this year, we lost. Like, think about this. The Dallas Cowboys are 3-9 without Amari Cooper. We're 3-9 without Amari Cooper. 3-9. Why? Because we played 8 games last year without him and went 3-5, and then we played a game this year without him and lost. You know what I'm saying? If you guys don't think that wide receiver is a need, you're tripping, man. I told you I was on the sidelines. I got a video of Amari Cooper's heel bleeding on the sidelines, and that boy's out there playing. And that's another thing we got to talk about when Boss Cowboy get back on the line. We got to talk about why these boys ain't getting paid, man. But yeah, my 3 biggest needs right now for the Dallas Cowboys are defensive line, offensive line, wide receiver, in that order right there. And you know what's so funny? Those are the exact same needs I had at the beginning of the season. Those are my 3 biggest needs. What are y'all 3 needs, man? My boy Topez says safety. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Safety is not a huge need for the Dallas Cowboys. Want to know why? Because if you're the reason why they didn't feel it was a huge need last year, I'm gonna tell you why, is because your defensive line was playing outside of its mind. When your defensive line is playing pretty damn good, Jeff Heath and Xavier Woods, they're pretty damn good. Like, I'm just being honest with you. When your defensive line is doing their job, when your defensive tackles are there and they're able to do their jobs, your safeties are pretty damn good. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me. Why? Because they didn't spike our punch with the Earl. We want Earl Thomas. We want the this, we want the that. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. If your defensive tackles can get pressure, that stops the defense, that stops the offensive guards and tackles from getting to your linebackers. That means that your defensive tackles are going to be playing or are going to play against more offensive linemen and more running backs. That means a guy like Xavier Woods should not be leading the Dallas Cowboys in tackles. Why? Because if your safety is leading your team in tackles, that means what? That means your defensive tackles ain't doing their job and the linebackers ain't doing their job. If you guys want this defense to get back to where it was, and you guys got to remember, even when we wanted a safety, we didn't want no safety because we wanted to stop the run. We wanted a safety because we wanted interceptions. Hell, you mean? I ain't getting up to have safety so he can hit. I need a safety so he can get some goddamn interceptions. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's why you wanted Earl Thomas. Why? Because we wanted interceptions. We wanted someone who could go get the ball. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's why I'm saying right now the biggest need for the Dallas Cowboys is defensive tackle. Because if you get yourself a solid defensive tackle, you can run with the rest of these dudes. Leighton Vander Esch, LVE, them dudes is pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? Xavier Woods, he all right. I know y'all don't like Jeff Heath because he a white safety in the NFL. I know I say that, but I know y'all don't like him because of that. But you know what I'm saying? Jeff Heath all right too. Like, he all right. Jeff Heath have his moments, but he all right. And to be honest with you, considering what the Cowboys want to pay for, he's all right. I'll take Jeff Heath over a bunch of other safeties in the NFL. So it just be like that. But what I also think is Jeff Heath is Jeff Heath. Like, Jeff Heath is that Honda Accord over there. Like, he will never be my BMW 535. He will never be that. He will always be that Honda over there. Now, will that Honda drive you from point A to point B? Yes, it will. But will it massage your butt and warm it up while it drive it? No, it will not. That's why I pay more for this one, and they car note probably cheaper than mine. You know what I'm saying? But I just think Jeff Heath is what Jeff Heath is. But at the same time, I think right now, if you go put a defensive tackle in the middle of this defense, all your other problems are going to be fixed. All your other problems are going to be tape. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Don't disrespect me by telling me to go look at tape. Don't, because Topaz, I'm the type of person that's going to ask you, what game you talking about? What game are you talking about that Jeff Heath looked trash? Tell me. Because I can show you very many moments where Jeff Heath was Johnny on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to get into this whole debate about Jeff Heath because I know y'all ain't got the film, but I do. It's 2 clicks away. 2 clicks away. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. You know what I'm saying? For what the Dallas Cowboys are willing to pay for, Jeff Heath is probably one of the better safeties that you're going to get. Why? Because we're not going to pay for it. Like, we're not going to pay for it. So it's like if you're saying Jeff Heath isn't an all-pro, yes, he's right. He's not an all-pro. Is Jeff Heath a top 10 safety in the NFL? No, he's not. Sure not. But he is that Honda over there. And that Honda is good for something. And considering your team doesn't want to pay, Jeff Heath's a pretty damn good safety. Because it can be a whole lot worse. This is what I say about Jeff Heath, man. If Jeff Heath is the best safety on your team, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. If Jeff Heath is the best safety on your team, you're in trouble. But if Jeff Heath is the worst safety on your team, then guess what? You're going to be okay. Now, in a perfect world, what would I start? I'm going to be honest with you, and I know y'all going to disagree, but it's all good. I got the film. I got the film to back it up. My boy said I got lots of tape and intel. Okay, Topaz, which game? That's all we talk about. I don't even go back and forth with the banter. Tell me which game, and I'll go watch it. Your next comment, Topaz, should be the games in which you're talking about. All right? So, this is what I'm saying. The Dallas Cowboys, now, there is a change at the safety position that I would make, though. The change at the safety position that I would make would put in Donovan Wilson. But I wouldn't put Donovan Wilson and Xavier Woods. If I start Donovan Wilson, there's no way I'm going to start Donovan Wilson and Xavier Woods. No way in hell. No way. If you starting Donovan Wilson, Jeff Heath is going to be the other safety on the other side of him. That's gonna be fact. Why? Because none of our safeties play in the box better than Jeff Heath does. And that's just being real. I love Xavier Woods. I love him. But Xavier Woods will miss you a tackle real quick. Like, real quick. You know what I'm saying? So, if I'm going to – and you guys know I'm a huge proponent of Donovan Wilson starting. But I'm not going to start Donovan Wilson and Xavier Woods in the backfield. Nope. You're going to put 2 free safeties back there. So who's going to stop? Who's going to be hitting folks? Like, who's going to be that guy that's going to come put his nose in the gap? You know what I'm saying? Hey, and Torres, hey, we just a real, I got love for you, baby. It ain't, we be a real aggressive over here. But hey, if you got that tape, let me know because I would love to change my mind on Jeff Heath. But yeah, that's my thing. If you are gonna put Donovan Wilson back there and let him be your true free safety, then you gotta put Jeff Heath. From what we have on our team right now, you gotta put Jeff Heath back there. Or you could go try that kid that we picked up named Josh Jones, who was a former second-round pick who hasn't really played. Oh, yeah, we can talk about him. Like I said, man, some of this stuff in Dallas Cowboys just don't make sense, man. Just don't make sense. Former second-round pick, Josh Jones from Green Bay, not even playing. You know what I'm saying? Not even playing, man. Like, not even playing. Joe says, if we need receivers, there's two out there, Dez and Antonio. Travis says, my thing with Haith is he's a body tackler. I don't care if he's a body tackler. Like, that's what I mean. If he's an arm tackler, I mean, that's actually a good thing because arm tacklers are usually the ones that get broken tackled. Like, that's the proper technique of tackling someone. You want to put your shoulders in it because if you arm tackle someone, you know what they're going to do? They're going to spin right up out of you or they're going to run right through you. So, I mean, I don't mind. That's actually a good thing that he's a body tackler. That means he's getting a hand on the body. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really mind that. You know what I'm saying? And I know that Jeff Heath isn't Earl Thomas. And I know he ain't Jamal Adams, who I have heard rumblings of the Dallas Cowboys possibly looking at. Now, I have heard some rumblings of the Dallas Cowboys possibly entertaining a prospect of getting a Jamal Adams. I'm going to be honest with you guys. From a real reliable source, I'm going to keep it 100. This has not been verified, but this is someone who has given me tons of information, and all of it has been correct, including the schedule that we had 3 days before NFL even published it. Yeah, that got me an email from the Dallas Cowboys of, hey, who told you? And I just didn't even respond. But yeah, this same person let me know that the Dallas Cowboys did put in a bid for one Jamal Adams. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Obviously, this could just be some hearsay or whatever it is, but I do trust this person's words. And I'm going to say this, man. Even if the Dallas Cowboys were to get a Jamal Adams, man, like, it's not going to stop your problems in the middle. Like, it's not gonna stop your problems in the middle at all. Why? The only thing that's going to stop is Jamal Adams is going to have more tackles. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Like, the problem that we have when beating the Dallas Cowboys are teams feel that they have a key to beating us, and that is running the ball up the middle of the ends, up the middle of our defense. Now, if you're going to be able to stop that, if your plans are to stop that, you don't stop that with a safety. And I don't care if it is Jamal Adams. You don't stop a team running up the middle on you with Jamal Adams. You stop a team running up the middle with you on a D tackle. Because you got to remember, Jamal Adams is a safety. That means he is going to be at most 8 to 9 yards off the ball. So, but don't get me wrong. I don't want to sit up here and try to not piss on the fact that the Cowboys can get a Jamal Adams. Would I be ecstatically happy? Yes, I would be extremely happy. But at the same time, I still believe that the same problem would still be there too, as far as getting containment up the middle. Boss Cowboy, you back on with us? Yeah, it don't look like it. See, look like his internet got the best of him for the day. So yeah, so that's kind of like my thoughts on a possible Jamal Adams trade. I mean, obviously, I would 100% be open for it. I would be open for a trade, but I mean, at the same time, I don't want to be under the assumption that by getting Jamal Adams a safety, and that's any safety, I wouldn't be looking at Jamal Adams as a run stopper. I'd be looking at him to get his hands on the ball to create more turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing a video right now on the Dallas Cowboys turnovers, and so two things that I'm seeing from these turnovers is, one, when we do get them, they come in bunches. And two, when we don't get them, we don't get them. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we get our hands on turnovers, we get our hands on them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're not a team that actually creates turnovers. Like, these guys aren't out there actively knocking balls up in the air. Where you see other defenses like the Patriots, like, someone is coaching them. When the ball's in the air, tip it up. And then it turns into the Nelly tip drill. Oh, Jay got a tip drill. Jay got tip drill. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're teaching these guys over there in New England, and that's why you're seeing it reciprocated on the football field. You know what I'm saying? The Dallas Cowboys, if we go get a safety, it's primarily for interceptions, for someone to stop those big passes over the middle. Not even saying it happens a lot in Dallas, but that's what it's for. So I don't see how, if you're a team that is getting hurt up the middle, you can play them in the box, but then that defeats the purpose of even getting a Jamal Adams. Why? I don't want Jamal Adams just hidden in the box, turning into an extra linebacker. I want him back there ball hawking. So when he catches the ball, he can turn it to a damn running back. You know what I'm saying? Boss Cowboy, you back on the line? Nope, he ain't on, so I'm gonna take some questions. Janelle said,
you should be able to hear me now, bro.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
All right, so my boy Janelle says, please explain with what is going on with Tristan Hill. What a disappointment. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. There's really not nothing to explain. Like, he's just not ready.
That's all it is. He just not
Like
ready.
I don't want to give you this long answer. I'll let boss give you a long answer, but
I
he
mean,
ain't
it's not
ready.
even. It's he's doing what he's expected to do. He had a 4th-round grade. Like the problem is we was oversold on him.
Yep.
Was sold that he was gonna be an instant impact player. And West Coast and I, we was already researching, and when everybody was, hyping him up and stuff, I was like, bro, like Dame Bugler, and I looked around everybody and my own eyes said that's not a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah, I want to say, bro, you ain't even got to say all them dudes, bro. Just go off, like all them other, like, because some of them dudes be co-signing this crap after it happens too. So that's why we just stick with our own stuff. Like Boss Cowboy,
Yeah.
you know what's funny too? Because we actually even apologized too. Like that Sunday, we came on here and was like, yo, like, I know we weren't as positive about this draft that we could have been. And we basically kind of like tried to like spin it. I'll never do that again.
Nice. Yeah.
I'll never do that again.
And because the reason that we said people during this time don't want to hear the negatives, but we were just being honest.
Yeah, but I'll never apologize for something I see. I'll never do that again.
Just stick with what you see, and then the truth will catch up to it. And that's all it was. So and don't think he's not a bust. It's like it's the expectations that was a bust. It's just like Taco wasn't a bust. It was the expectations that was.
What were the expectations of Tristan Hill? What did the Cowboys sell us so that people can understand? What was the expectations of Tristan Hill?
Man, it was ridiculous. Like literally, Christian Shaw came out and said this man was going to be impactful on stopping the run immediately, as well as being a pressure person for quarterbacks straight up the middle. He was sold as if he was going to be David Irvin just out the gate. And it's like he could even get there. Like, listen to what we're saying. He can get there, but they sold us a projection that's against the norm.
Yeah.
The norm, even for first rounders, unless you're a top 10 pick.
Unless you're from Alabama, I don't even want to say top 10 pick. If you're not from Alabama or Clemson, you're not going to be effective on the defensive line.
Or you can throw in there Ohio State.
Right? Yeah, but even like Ohio State.
Now Bosa,
but that's a defensive end though. I'm talking specifically defensive tackle.
Yeah, if you saying D tackle, you would have to have Clemson
or Alabama.
Or Simmons, right? Simmons.
He was a monster. SEC.
He's a monster.
SEC.
So it's like clear top 5 type talent, clear top 10. Okay, you'll get that immediate impact. But at pick 58,
58, bro. 58. Pick 58. Think about this. At pick 58, theoretically, that means there's only 22 people that play on defense, right? That means they could have picked 2 positions. They could have picked the best at every position on defense twice over could have already been picked.
Yeah.
There's no way that you saw that he was going to – go ahead.
And then the worst part is it was already a draft where it was expected to be a defensive tackle run.
Yes.
So you already knew he was going to be about the 8th one, 9th one, and really he shouldn't have been the 9th one. We should have been looking at him in round 3, round 4. Even in round 3, he was a reach. So but he is playing and he is doing right around what Malik Collins was doing when he was getting here in 2016. Malik was looking like, rookie.
Malik was looking like he was always going to be.
But now that he's in the final year of his contract, we're looking at a whole nother level, but he had to grow into that. He was a 4th rounder as well.
Yep.
So it's one of those things to where the expectations was also, and this is why you got to listen to people like us because we independent. We're not gonna sell you any kind of propaganda. We have no incentive to do that. There's no incentive out of West Coast and I to try to sit. See, you got to understand the Dallas Cowboys have great incentive to lie to us. They have
say that one more time. Say that loud.
Like, don't think it's an accident that they leaking out stuff like we're looking at a safety. No, they not. They are not serious about replacing Heat. Don't look if you haven't learned from Gil Bryant as a smoke
his
screen.
Old lying ass. Gil, his old lying ass.
If you didn't learn this offseason and the offseason before that and the offseason before that and the offseason before that, we're not getting those safeties until Heath is gone. Just get over it. I don't even get my hopes up even a little bit. Like there's not going to be any trades, and see because they're trying to get us hyped. Like, well, we tried to get Jamal Adams, but he was just too high. But it's a whole lot of mid-tier safeties that's better than Heath and Woods.
Yeah,
that we pass on a whole bunch. So we didn't see because they try to act like to replace Heath, you got to go to Adams.
Exactly. It's either Earl Thomas. It's either. Like, think about this. Oh my God, boss, that was a phenomenal point. That was a phenomenal point. And think about this. And think about this, boss. You know what that also? Hey, boss. You know what that also lets you know? That the Dallas Cowboys. I need you guys to listen to this because you're about to learn something. Everybody learning something. You're about to learn something real quick. The Dallas Cowboys theoretically did not want a safety. They wanted Earl Thomas. You get what I'm saying? Like, because if you wanted a safety when you didn't get Earl Thomas, you would have went and got a safety. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't really want a safety. They wanted that guy. And if they couldn't get that guy, then we'll just be fine with the guys we got. So basically what you're saying is the Dallas Cowboys have never saw safety as a need. Never. They saw Earl Thomas as a need. They wanted Earl Thomas, but they didn't really want a safety. It's like, man, my car won't start. I can't go to work today. Hey, boss, I can't even go to work. Why? Because I ain't got no gas in my car. Well, do you want to put some gas in your car so you can go to work? Well, so you really don't want to come to work, is what you're saying. That's what you're really saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going for the safety merry-go-round.
Yeah, bro, they don't want no damn safety because you got a safety. Donovan Wilson.
Merry-go-round 2 years ago.
Boss, how about this? Boss, how about you not even go get Jamal Adams? Because it's so funny.
Just give, like you say, Wilson more reps.
Hey, can I say something? Hey, my source, they're going to be a little pissed when I talk about this, but I'm not going to say, I'm going to just speak around it. But I'll tell you like this, right? So my source hits me up yesterday, like West Coast. I had a conversation with someone, and when they say someone, they mean up top. You know what I'm saying? He says, I have a conversation with someone, and they told me that they put in a bid for Jamal Adams. And you know what? We talked about it, right? And you know what my source said? They said, West Coast, like, I don't know, but I don't feel like I'm happy because who wouldn't want Jamal Adams? But then they was like, but I'm not like happy. And I'm gonna tell you what. And I'm gonna tell you why you're not like happy, and why you're not running down the street like I would normally. Like when I found out about an hour before the Cooper thing happened, but I ran down the street. I literally ran down the street. Like there's video of me running down the street in my house gated community, right? Literally running down the street with my phone. There's a video of me running down the street with my phone, yelling and screaming. Ah! Right? When I heard of Jamal Adams, I was like, first thing that thought of me is like, so did Donovan Wilson slap somebody on his draft day? Does he got some naked pictures of Jerry Jones' wife? Did Donovan Wilson punch somebody in the? Because I need to know. Because if Donovan did something that we don't know about it, I just want to apologize for him right now. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. On behalf of Donovan Wilson and the Wilson family, Jerry, we apologize. My bad. And what I think he did is he probably parked. Because I'm gonna tell you, because this happens. He probably parked in Jerry Jones' spot. Because you know how if it's your first day of work and you park in the boss's spot, and then forever in life he just don't like you. That's what like. Did he really park into somebody's wrong spot, man? Boss, let me know.
No, bro, none of that happened. This is all politics. Like, listen, I'm gonna steal my boy Jaquez's point, but it's not stealing when you give him credit for it. He might even got this from me, but it's a good point. I don't care. But this is the point. We saw you rotating in Heat when it was Will Cox.
Yep. Ooh.
At Church here.
Yep. Church didn't even like that.
All of a sudden, you don't rotate safeties in no more, especially those with potential.
That have more potential than the players that you're playing.
Now, you can't tell me Church needed anybody to rotate in for him because he did not.
Nope.
He did not. And Will Cox, even though he was horrible at angles, he definitely a better player than Heath. Straight up. He was slow, but he was a better player, and he'll knock your head off.
Especially at that point of his career, because
at that point of his career, he was better than what Heath is today. right?
Wilcox left. Both those players left the Dallas to go start somewhere else.
They were literally and truly rotating in Heath and developing him.
Yep.
But you have a guy that's graded number one safety out of all the quality. This was probably the best safety class in the last 15 years.
And Gil Bryant told the truth about that. Because remember,
true. This was about the best safety class in the last 15 years.
And he said that.
And in the best safety class, the guy that got the number one preseason grade out of all those safeties that dispersed to the multiple teams was our guy.
Yep.
And we spit on that and said, we're not giving you any developmental reps. It's not a shock, though.
So then, if that's the case, then Boss Cowboy. So if that's the case, then how did Kerry Hyder make this team? How did Christian Covington make this team? How did they let those guys play in preseason and earn a way into playing in the regular season? But then Donovan Wilson balls better than all those dudes in his preseason state, doesn't work to get him more playing time. How do you explain that? They play on the same defense. I know that's not true. I know that. I know you didn't do it, Boss, but I didn't know. How do you explain that?
Man, the way you explain it, man, is the way you explain all the iffy moves. Politics. It's the same thing that's going on with Anthony Brown and
what can a rookie do?
I mean, you can't do nothing but go to another team.
What can a rookie do to piss somebody off that early? He only been on the team 6 months. How can he already be politicked out?
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you, West Coast. The only thing you can do is pray for injury for your person.
Lord have mercy.
Because
that's how Jordan Lewis got on the field.
Same way with Dak. Dak would have been buried if it wouldn't have been for those freakish injuries.
Kellen Moore would be your quarterback right now. If Dak
Kellen Moore would still be the quarterback because they loved Kellen Moore. He was like a son. And we make decisions like that, bro. That's just what it is. It's like, if you don't see that pattern about your team by now, you're not looking at the Dallas Cowboys, and you definitely drinking a delusional Kool-Aid. And you done took about 4 gulps of it and you like it. I hate that Kool-Aid. If you give me some delusional Kool-Aid, I'm gonna spit it out and I'm gonna punch you for it. Like, it's no way that I'm drinking that Kool-Aid. So like, when you looking at moves and you looking at outside graders that's independent, that's not Cowboy fans, that's saying, I'm PFF, my job is to be neutral. Even though I don't trust PFF, their job is still to be neutral. And they say, according to what we're looking at, Jordan Lewis your best, and that guy Wilson, he was a late rounder, but he's also one of your best too. I don't know you guys. You're not my team, but this is what I see.
And mind you, Jordan Lewis was starting as a rookie. Jordan Lewis started 7 games as a rookie for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know some of you guys don't remember that because when the Dallas Cowboys when we weren't really trying to win. In 2017, we weren't a good team. Zeke was getting suspended. I know a lot of people jumped off the bandwagon. But guys like me and Boss, we still watched every game. We were still here yelling at as my grandma said, you was yelling at the TV. I was still here yelling at the TV. And I saw Jordan Lewis. Being talked about as one of the up and developing cornerbacks. And think about this. When Jordan Lewis was starting, he was not starting at the slot. He was starting at the boundary.
Yeah, corner.
He was a boundary cornerback in the NFL as a rookie after missing 6 games. So think about that. The Dallas Cowboys didn't value in 2017. This is how the Dallas Cowboys valued Jordan Lewis. He's so good, even though he didn't have training camp, even though he had a misdemeanor case, even though he had all these boom ba de bear, even though he didn't play 1 down in preseason. As soon as he get healthy, he's playing. And not only is he playing, he's starting. Okay,
that was also honestly due to injury too. To be honest,
well, regardless injury, and you got to remember, we let it was also by default because we let Carr, Claiborne, Mo, and Wilcox all walk.
Yeah, remember we picked up that corner from Philly, remember? And he got hurt.
No, he got a DUI. That's what actually got him cut.
Yeah, and we ended up cutting him. And so then that's when Jordan Lewis got his chance.
He got a DUI after his own birthday party.
The guys that we've been wanting to see, you're not going to see unless there's tragedy. I'm just being honest. Like, if we didn't cut Taco would be playing right now.
And he would have 3.5 sacks like he has right now.
And then if you look around the league, I don't want to kind of piss y'all off, but there's some guys that we let go that's balling around this whole league. If you watched the games yesterday with the Raiders and Kansas City, our guys going off.
Hey, think about this. Travarius Ward, a guy that we traded, is starting a corner. All y'all folks out here saying, "Oh, we need a corner. We need a corner." Well, guess what? We traded Travarius Ward away last year for just nothing, and guess what? He's over there starting. His WARD. Yeah. He's a right corner for the Chiefs.
Remember that defensive end we picked up for the Raiders?
Jihadi
Ward. Wasn't even defensive end. He was a tackle. It was the defensive end. I forgot his name. I was watching him yesterday. Man, dude was killing. The dude got 5.5 sacks.
Who?
And I can't remember his name, man, but we picked him up for the Raiders and we sent him back to the Raiders, man. Sure did. And he got 5.5 sacks right now, bro. Wilson is over there balling right now.
Yeah, my boy Wilson. I mean, Kansas City got half our defense over there. They had Landry Standard, they got Travarius Ward, they got Damian Wilson over there, and they got Anthony Hitchens over there.
Yeah, so basically, Dallas – Dallas is one of those teams that would never get the max out of its vehicle, out of the Ferrari that they built, because they try to put their right foot on the gas, but they put their left foot on the brake at the same time. That's exactly what we do. You can't get the maximization of your car by putting your foot on the brakes. And as long as you got politics in your organization and favorites, and this is my guy, you seeing Jarwin reps ramping down. Why is his reps ramping down?
Benson Mayor.
Benson Mayor, thank you.
That's the homie from LA too.
That boy balling right now. He balling.
That's the homie. That's the homie. That's the homie. That's the homie. Yeah. Like if I look at some of my old contacts, I might have his cellular phone in there. That's the homie. So the same thing could mess around and happen to Jordan Lewis with Benson Moore, where we developed them and then somebody else get the peak usage of them. Same thing happening with Taco right now. We let Taco cut his teeth on us, and right now he got more sacks than Tank in 4 less games. And he's leading their team in sacks. So the Dolphins are sitting back thinking like, we did good. Like think about that. That like you made the Dallas Cowboys made another organization better. Yeah, Miami owes us one.
And all the people that believe the front office story was saying, Tacos suck. Y'all tripping. Tacos sorry. And we was telling y'all the whole time and was right. If they take your reps, you cannot show skills on the field. They were talking about, he didn't do anything. He didn't play either.
He didn't play.
Just like you saw Jarwin ramping up, and now where's Jarwin now? Is he sorry now? No.
Is Jarwin declining?
Less.
Baby.
And so if he's on the field way less, he's not going to make no plays. I guess the next thing y'all say is, Wilson didn't do nothing for us anyway, so we needed to let him go. Well, how he going to do something if we not giving him the reps?
Think about this. Think about this, boss. Guess what? I mean, Jordan Lewis is probably having one of the better seasons that he's definitely by far one of our better corners. And you know what Dallas.com puts out an article? Dallas.com article says that Jordan Lewis needs to focus more.
Yeah.
What do you mean he needs to focus? He's the only one out there balling. What do you mean he needs to focus? Like when I saw that, whenever I read an article, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't do this, I'm gonna tell you guys you're tripping. Whenever you get an article, first thing you need to do is open it and see who wrote it. You know what I'm saying? And if it says untitled, don't even read it. Don't even read it. A lot of that stuff be clickbait. But I'm gonna tell you right now. I looked at this article and it was from Dallas.com. And I'm thinking in my head, Dallas Cowboys. Jordan Lewis is the only one out there getting his hands on. That boy has a trifecta. He has a sack, he has an interception, and a fumble recovery. How the hell does he need to focus? He's not even playing, really.
Yeah,
how do you focus if you're not even playing? The only reason why he's even playing is because Anthony Brown got hurt. Like, Anthony Brown got... Bro, there are plays, there are literally... I'm going to tell you guys right now, Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis... I like when Anthony Brown's on the field, Jordan Lewis being on the same side, because Jordan Lewis cleans up a lot of Anthony Brown's plays.
Say it again,
and
bro.
On my breakdown alone, there's 2 plays that Anthony Brown clearly misses, and guess who cleans them up? Jordan Lewis cleans it up.
Yep. The worst one to me that.
And these are tackles. These are tackles.
The Redskins is the one that pissed me off the worst, bro. Cause see, I did a film breakdown too on that. And when you see so many missed tackles and you see Jordan Lewis, the one cleaning them up, and then they turn around and seeing Jordan Lewis to the bench and allow Anthony Brown to start, it's like y'all trying to play us like we suckers, man. Y'all clearly have favorites, bro. Yeah. You clearly have favorites because, see, then it becomes against logic, and they try to sell you against your own eyes. They try to tell you Taco was sorry in preseason. I was like, no, he was not. You don't get player of the game 1 or 2 times, 4 sacks, multiple pressures, bat downs, cause fumbles, and then don't earn more reps in the season.
Hey, boss, I'm gonna tell you how you know it's personal. That the fact that the Dallas Cowboys did not give a damn about that.
Yeah,
the Cowboys said he did 2 sacks, 2 fumbles, and a TFL in the third playoff game in the very preseason game where most of the starters play. Oh man, I ain't trying to hear that.
No, I'm gonna tell you when I
still don't like Taco.
I'm gonna tell you when I knew Taco was in trouble, and because I interpret politics pretty well, I think. When they said, when you get a sack, we want to see some emotion. What? I don't care if you do nothing after the sack. Just get the sack. I don't care about the celebration. I care about the performance. I knew then they was nitpicking him. I said, oh, yeah, that boy in trouble.
It's like
we want to see more emotion. It's his body language. It's his body language.
Shut up. Body language? Stop. So it's – and then this is one of the worst parts about Dallas. A lot of it is media controlled, right? So you can't really trust our insiders because they all under Jerry's bankroll. So they go sing, most of them go sing the song. Yeah. So they go spread the propaganda to try to get us bought into the illogical decisions that they make.
Exactly.
So then they'll be mad at West Coast.
Especially Mike Fisher. He works for Cowboys. I don't give a damn what nobody say. He works for Cowboys.
Yeah. And I did see Mike Fisher. And I was actually surprised about this. I did see Mike Fisher saying this, which was a great point. You said it first, he said it second. If you want to trade Taco, play him. Because if you don't put him on the field, you go get nothing for him.
A first-round pick, and we got nothing.
And think about it. What New England did with Bennett is what we should have did with Taco.
Trade him for something, even a 7th-round pick. Even a 7th-round pick, it don't matter. You just don't let him walk out the door.
But they made Bennett active. They cannot like you. And I said New England do that. Say New England might not like you, but they'll play you, put film on you, and then unload you.
Yep. You be thinking, I'm doing good. Hey, just like Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon thought he was doing good, and everything was going good. And then all of a sudden,
they traded Collins to the Browns?
Yeah.
They did him the same way.
Think about this.
Film on them and said, we gonna get a 2nd round for you. Bye.
Like that don't change and that's the same thing I was saying. Like, if you really want, the Dallas Cowboys were at the point where, have you ever been in a relationship with someone where you're like, you know what? I don't even care about my stuff. Keep it. Just keep it. Why? Because I ain't coming back. Just keep all my clothes. I'm not tripping. I'll buy new stuff. Matter of fact, just let me get my Xbox. Let me get my Xbox and let me get my charging cord. I'm good.
I saw a comment and somebody tapped said he looked like he didn't care. And see, I get it. I
don't judge coaches' emotions on the sidelines. Though. That's
and I'm talking about players now, right? I'm results oriented. LeVar Ball said something that I totally agree with, because everybody was getting on his son about his shooting form. He said, look, as long as that ball going in, I don't care if he shooting it off his elbow.
Yeah, he did say that. And that's true. I'm the exact same way.
If that ball is going in, a lot of us, that's how we do Dak. Dak, his throwing motions, his Wentz got a stronger arm, and he throws where's the ball? What's the end result of the ball? That's what I care about. That's all I care about is what's the end result of the ball. I don't care about body languages, celebrations. I don't care if you hyper like a Miami guy or if you a priest like a Penn State Notre Dame guy. I don't care. Are you making plays? Because it's we love temperament, and we'll put temperament over plays. You know, because everybody loved Anthony Brown's temperament. You know, he's that good guy. You know, he not clean. He not sweet. You know what I mean? He's not a boastful DB. He's out there. He has that pious look. But he getting burnt constantly, and he always going at people's ankles, and he looks scared when they're on the field, and he give up plays to no-name receivers. But you don't like the guy. Oh, George, his personality, and then if you look at his – and I'm going to tell Jordan Lewis when I see him again, bro, stay off social media, bro, because I really think that's what's really hurting him, bro. I think it's social media because he speak his mind on a lot of political issues. And I think that's what's really hurting him is because he's a free thought dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like just get off social media, bro, because they looking at you as a liability. That's the only reason they not playing you, bro, because it has nothing to do with how you play. It's how they look at you some way as a risk.
Hey, I got to pause it real quick. Hey, we got the homie in that building, man. What's up with you, B? Bob, what the heck, baby?
Oh,
what's
Bob
up?
In the building?
Bob's in the building, man. I'm on the zero. Hey, what's up with you, man? What is up with you? Hey, my little thing ran out, so I gotta re-up it, man. But I'm gonna re-up it this week. You got my word. I'm gonna re-up it and get you some more articles, man. Hey, man, salute.
I sent you a couple of articles, Bob, man. I hope you're reading them, bro.
Yeah, man. All right, so hey, back.
Coach told me send my boy some articles. I said I will, you know. So anyway,
all right, but back. Look, yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, that's just what it is, man. It's like, you know, the Dallas Cowboys have their sets. They have people that they, and it's big. Like it is, you know, it's crazy. Like in New England, their favoritism is towards winning.
Yeah.
Like their favoritism is towards winning. They're like. Yeah, I know, Tom. I know you're the GOAT. But see that guy? You see that's exactly what Belichick said before Tom Brady. And think about this. This was 2 Super Bowls ago. You know what I'm saying? 2 Super Bowls ago, Belichick was looking at Tom Brady like, you got 4 Super Bowls, but that guy over there that was drafted out of nobody's college, and I could probably sign him for like $20 million right now. He could be my quarterback for the next 15 years, really, really cheap. And I still
3 left.
You still maybe got 3 years. Yeah, we'll win 2 Super Bowls, but
we trying to get another 7.
We trying to get 7, and yeah, that's what real favoritism should be. That's real favoritism. That's real favoritism.
Like nobody's safe.
Exactly. Our favoritism is towards what? Winning. Whatever can get us to winning, that's what. Oh, Josh Gordon, you want to smoke some weed and drink some alcohol? Don't even trip, bro. This is what we're going to do. We're going to sign you. I know you ain't never played for us, so we have no reason to just sit and hold you. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to trade for you from the Browns because we believe at some point you'll stop smoking and drinking and you don't want to play football. And guess what? You're going to be one of the better wide receivers in the NFL, and you're going to be right here on our team.
Yeah, and that don't mean that you always get it right, but that show that you're willing to.
And even when they got it wrong, think about this. Think about this. Josh Gordon said himself that when the Patriots traded for Mohamed Sanu, he didn't know what was like. He didn't know what was happening. So think about this. At some point, Bill Belichick said, "Hey, you know what? I love Josh Gordon, but have you seen that Malcolm Sanu guy? Like, Bill Belichick is a cheating mother effer. Yeah, he cheat on his players with other players. That's what he do. You know what I'm saying?
And then even when they took the risk on Antonio Brown, when he acted a fool, they had it in their contract where they was able to get out without paying him, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like we're going to take the risk on the player because we want to win, and we know that it's a lot of media attention that go with it. But if he don't play by rules, then he's out. They'll take that chance, and they've been doing it for years. Like, and it's so common. You know what most of us say when we see a problem player? We say New England go get him.
And why is that? Why is that?
Because they put play over personality.
Why is that? Or when they say, "Oh, you know what's gonna happen? Taco gonna go. He gonna leave Dallas and go play for. Watch, he gonna go to New England and be a good." Why do people feel that way? Like that, like
they've been watching their history.
Because in the back of your mind, you know
that they pick play over personality.
Yep.
And one of the most impressive things about New England was this: when it took Brady 14 years to figure out that his job was secure. It literally took Brady 14 years to figure that out, because Brady said before the Garoppolo debacle and all that, when they start looking at getting rid of Brady, He said, I have no doubt in my mind. This is what he said.
This is what Tom Brady said.
Tom Brady said this. I have no doubt in my mind that if it's in the best interest of New England, they getting rid of me.
And he had 4 Super Bowls at that time.
So a lot of people trying to say that Tom Brady takes a team-friendly discount because he won the win.
No, he takes it to stay on the team.
He did that to stay on the team. He was like, I know if you start asking for too much money and somebody is close to you, cheaper, they're going with cheaper and they're moving on.
Yep.
He said, I know that. Now, we created a narrative in Dallas because we want to pay Dak less. Like, Dak should take less because we're going to look at Tom Brady because that guy wants to win. Now, as soon as Tom Brady figured out, oh, I'm actually valued here. And this is how you know he did, because he skipped over his coach and went straight to Kraft. Kraft for the first time said, no, Belichick, you is not getting rid of this guy.
And remember last year, that was the year. Remember that year, the Garoppolo year? That was the year where they were rumors of possibly of it being Belichick's last year. Why? Because
he was mad about that. He wanted to get rid of the GOAT. See, and if it would have been Dallas, like a lot of us still caught up in Romo over Dak. And Romo ain't got nothing on Tom Brady resume. But I know New England fans too. And you know what New England fans was, the West Coast?
What?
They was actually mad that they didn't cut Tom Brady. New England fans, because when your organization put winning first, your fans do too. And they start understanding at the end of the day, every one of these guys get old and we can't fall in love with none of them.
Yep.
None of them. And that's how their fans are. I got plenty of friends that's New England friends, and they was literally super hot at Kraft covering from Brady. And that was the first time Brady also started bucking against Belichick. And he started speaking out against the public. He started saying stuff. And you know what Belichick did?
Made him run.
He got back from vacation, and he ran him openly in front of everybody like, Brady, you the GOAT, but even you ain't above our rules. What I tell you about speaking out to the media.
You ever open your mouth.
Get to running. Get to running. You'll never see that in Dallas. You think Witten will be running? You think if Witten says something, you think Jason Garrett go say, get to running? No, he gonna be like, well, Witten, you know, that's Witten. You know, he's earned that right. No, that's entitlement. There's no entitlement in New England.
Well, I mean, think about this. It comes from the top, though. I mean, it comes from the top. You had your owner saying that he had the right to joke with someone. Like, bro, you ain't got the right. Like, nobody has the right to say anything to me that is offensive.
Yeah,
you ain't got that right. Nobody got that right. We ain't close to nobody in the world is that close.
You ain't hooked me up enough to make fun of me in the public, son.
And you telling me you don't want to pay me. Now, maybe after you give me the $90 million, yeah, you earn the right. Because my thing is this. Yeah, if you earn that right to do that before I got the $90 million, what the hell can you do now? Well, now you can walk up and slap me in my face? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where the entitlement comes from. When you have an owner who hasn't done nothing what does Zeke and Jerry accomplish? What if they haven't accomplished anything in this NFL? So and then think about this. You don't earn the right to joke with someone off of what you paid them as a rookie. Bruh, you drafted them. He was the 4th overall pick. That means other teams wanted him.
And this is another thing, West Coast. Let's just keep it all the way honest, man. That joke was not funny at all because that's a stressful time. See, people taking this for granted what Dak and Cooper going through right now. A lot of our fans are purely super ignorant. And ignorant don't mean dumb. Ignorant mean you don't know. Go read my latest 2 articles. I literally posted what Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, who nobody can question their mental toughness. Both of them talked about how hard it is to be in contract negotiations and how it weighs on your mind. So the whole time Zeke was in Cabo, he was stressed. Don't make fun of me when I'm under a stressful situation. Yes, sir. You sitting on the billions. This is my probably one best chance at a contract. This is 1 in 1,000 to you, Jerry. This is everything to me and my family and my future. And no, it's not funny. And but a lot of our fan base, we saying stuff like this. I put one of my articles out, and one guy said, "Oh, it's not an issue to Dak and Cooper because we would have heard about it by now." Bullshit. Listen, man, them boys is professionals. They are not go out there in the public and trash the ownership and mess up their own money. What they do is they sit there and take it, but hate it. Trust me, Amari and Dak does not feel good about knowing their future and not knowing their future. They don't. Now, they'll go out there in the public and say, I let my team handle that. All I do is worry about what I can control. And no, it's keeping them boys up, and they cannot concentrate purely on football. And the worst part of what Steven just did, Steven just on a bye week where it was already reported, we can't even tell Dak to take a break, right? It was reported that Kitten and them was trying to tell Dak, okay, bro, good game against Philly. Go enjoy yourself. Go relax. You know what Dak said? Hell no. I'm going to go give me some more reps. I'm going to go work on my feet work. I'm going to go work on my throwing. I want to win us a Super Bowl. While he's focused in and locked in like that, on Friday, Steven come out and throw him under the bus.
Yep.
Majorly under the bus. And this is what he says. Well, the whole reason this is taking so long is because we're trying to get him to understand that we can't build around him unless he takes a pay cut.
But what are you building? All the pieces are paid.
Everybody's paid. And I wrote an article about it. 5 reasons why the team-friendly stuff don't make sense. And that he's selling us a bunch of lies. And this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to use the public as leverage against his players. And it's crazy because he's doing it during the season.
Yep. So you're hoping that these kids are you're hoping that these kids care more about, and this is I know from the regular fan you don't want to hear this, but you're hoping that these kids care more about winning than they do actually getting paid. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you ain't gotten paid yet, I'm sorry to inform you guys, these guys care about getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The only people that don't care about getting paid is guys who've already gotten paid.
Yeah.
These guys care about
somebody say, I think Dak should just say, forget about it until February.
And you know what I said? I went on that person's comment and I said, you sound dumb as hell. That's exactly what I said.
There's no way, no, bro. Like, you're not going to be paid $2 million or $600,000 as a base salary and be like, just hold off on paying me my $100 million guaranteed. I want to focus on football.
And then think about like a guy like Amari Cooper. Let's switch it over a little bit on Amari Cooper. Think about a guy like Amari Cooper who is hurt right now and still plays. Bro. I don't like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, some of these guys, these new agents, man, I don't get them. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way in hell my athlete would be playing. Not your feet, bro. Your feet.
No. You, listen, after the trade deadline is over with, if I'm the agent, especially given the track record of Jerry and Steven, because Jerry and Steven have a long track record. And the track record says this: we only paid the people that threatened to burn down the season.
Because that's what's most important to us.
Yeah. We only pay you when you threaten to burn down the season. It wasn't just Zeke when he said that with Cabo. It wasn't just Tank when he did it with his shoulder. It was also Zach Martin. People forget that Zach Martin had to hold out. Yeah. Who is more loyal, more faithful, more trustworthy than Zach Martin, bro?
I remember
Zach Martin to the offensive line is Dak to the whole team. They are 1-1 in character. Both of them hate missing games. Both of them hate missing practice, and both of them love preparation. And even somebody that steady had to hold out to get a market-setting deal.
That should let you know something right there is wrong.
So that should let you know something right there. So
that's why when people were saying, well, if Zeke could just if he could just play this year and just stay out of trouble. Like, what the heck that got to do with anything? What does that got to do with anything?
People just got Bennett, so they don't care about no trouble.
Exact. Oh my God! What happened to all those people? Zeke just need to stay out of trouble, man. He will pay him, man. Stop it. Stop it. They don't care about that. They care less about that.
Hey, man, please stop. You falling for the okie doke, and what we start sucking up to the ownership and we ignore the dysfunctions that they cause. Like literally no team is better at causing their own dysfunctions than us. Like even when Dak was a rookie and was winning 11 games straight, Jerry was saying something about Romo every week until the last 2 weeks, bruh. Because what they really care about, somebody said Jerry care about winning. No, winning is third on Jerry's list.
Jerry cares about money.
First
Cares
care about money.
Right, being right.
The right second.
Yep.
Then third, he want to win.
And what we mean by is he care about making as much money as possible. Then the second thing he cares about is about being right in public opinion. When you look at a decision that Jerry Jones made, and when you look back on it, does he get the credit for being right? You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what he cares about. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he cares about.
And then thirdly, winning. And the reason why we say that is because that's what his decisions say that.
Your track record say that. Because if you really cared about winning, like somebody told me, because they was refuting my article, they said, Steven is only doing what all the other billionaires are doing.
No, he's not. Ben Roethlisberger got extended and was hurt at the same time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I said, go show me in the last 100 years any young franchise quarterback. I'll give you 100 years to find me one that was going through negotiations during the season. Just to find me one. And we got two going through that. And the worst is it's our most compliant two.
Yeah.
It's the ones who kiss the babies. It's the one that don't complain. It's the ones who play through injury. Yep. It's the ones that never miss.
Yep.
Those are the guys that we saying, and we going and throwing them under
the bus.
Your
lovable characters.
Yeah, and I'm talking about basically what Stephen Jones said Friday is the reason why that contract is not done. His contract is not done because he's greedy. That's basically what he's saying. Yep. And he's trying to get us to be gullible, fall forward, start all this social media storm and anger about Dak as a last-ditch effort to put pressure on him to sign a little bit less than what he should.
So basically, they're just doing the same thing they did with everybody else. A little bit.
Because they did the same thing with Zeke.
Yep.
They said they did the exact same thing with Zeke. And then, they put their chest out. Jerry said, I'm willing to do what's best for the team, and I'm man enough to stay with it. And then a week later, paid him.
That's why I be saying when people be saying, "Oh, just trust the process." Like, what process?
Trust the process.
What process? What process do we have? We don't have a process. We don't have no damn process.
It's embarrassing.
We have a throw stuff against the wall and see if it sticks.
And listen, man, because you see a woman smiling while she walking down the street, don't mean she in a happy home.
Yeah.
And don't mean she in a happy home. See, that's what we say. Dak's smiling, he performing, he okay. No. Like, you should know from Scott Linehan that this team has learned how to play through dysfunction.
Yeah.
Because you see them playing well does not mean that there's turmoil.
That's true.
It does not mean that they not playing through the mental stress of what the team put on them and the tone deafness. Because imagine the tone deafness, right? It was so tone deaf last year with Scott Linehan that they was arguing as they was on a comeback win. That's dysfunction. They were just good enough to play through it. Literally saying like this, go on to Dak, bro, look, man, Philly's sitting on our routes. And Scott keep calling these stop routes. So, like, he's basically running right into the scheme, their defensive scheme. We need to change it, bro. He basically saying we need to buck them. That's stupid. That's what he's saying. You know what Dak say thinking politics?
Just run around.
Just do what they say. That's politics, bro. And Dak will not really be empowered or audible out or change the offense as Romo used to until he's empowered, until he can say, I'm rich now. I want to win. Yes, that was stupid. I hate that play call. Change it.
Or just that they trust me.
That now. Don't be like, make 600,000, but go against the people that control your future and your money. No, he's not going to do it. So until they pay Dak, you still ain't going to get the best of Dak.
Yep. Yeah, that's why you guys already know when we were on our little losing streak, what was the two things I said on defense we needed to do? Defense, I said we need to go get a defensive tackle. And I said the number one thing you can do to help your offense play better is to pay your quarterback.
Yep.
Why? Because I think there are certain things that he's being handicapped on that he's not doing because he ain't got paid. Like, for one, running the ball. Like,
Yep.
Like, why would I put myself, like, if I'm just like Amari Cooper, man, like, why would I put myself in jeopardy? I can be honest with you, man, any game that don't mean nothing, I wouldn't expect Amari Cooper to play.
Yep. He not going to play.
Like, even this Giants game, if they come out and say, oh, Amari Cooper is kind of dinged up, he won't play, I wouldn't be surprised.
Me neither.
Why? Because if I'm Amari Cooper, why would I play 16, 17 games for you guys for you guys, and I take a chance of getting hurt? There's no guarantee that you guys will re-sign me next year.
Yeah.
Like, and then think about this. If the Dallas Cowboys really wanted to sign Amari Cooper, like really, really, really wanted to sign him, why wouldn't you sign him now while he's cheapest? Why would you let him go into the open market where there's going to be other people trying to pay for his services at the same time?
And they going to want him now.
Yeah, and then think about this. That on a player lets a player say that you don't want me. You know what I'm saying? You don't really want me. Because if you wanted me, you would at least prevent me from losing me.
I would say they want you, but they trying to play you.
Yeah, and Amari Cooper's not a guy we drafted, so you can't be guaranteed that he's going to take it like D-Law did.
No, and he not going to take it. And Dak not going to take it. It's basically Steven Ego trying to hold on to a public promise that's retarded to even try to keep. Don't try to tell boys that's your best players and some of the best players in the NFL to go on the market when nobody else does. Yep. Everybody
and then Zeke did it. You can't even do it because Zeke did it.
Yeah, you said Zeke just signed the market.
Zeke just proved that you'll do it.
So don't say that you don't do it when you just did it and you did it with Zeke.
But you get what I mean?
Like, yeah, totally. Like, totally. And it's you basically taking their niceness for granted. So really, if Dak and Cooper want to be paid, this is what they should do. They should wait till Tuesday after the trade deadline is complete and make a public statement and say, look,
you wouldn't even have to be a public statement, bro. All you have to do is walk in Jerry Jones's office. Because remember, when Zeke got paid, but hold on, because when Zeke got paid, Zeke said that he was asleep. Zeke said his words were, he didn't think a deal was going to get done. He was in Cabo taking a nap, and his agent called him 3 times to wake him up. Because he didn't think a deal was going to get done. That's what Zeke said. So it was Jerry that panicked.
So basically, you thinking he should try to be nice first and go not put it in the public.
What I'm saying is
put it in the public.
What I'm saying is this. If you put it in the public, I don't want to. The reason why I don't want to do it in the public is because I want to get I just know the Cowboys are going to spin that so bad on Dak. I think Amari Cooper can come back from it, but I don't want my quarterback having to fight with my management in the middle of the season, bro. I don't want that happening.
They started the fight, bro.
I don't want it happening in the middle of the season, bro. I don't want that.
If you slap me by having me go 7 games,
I know, boss. I know.
To now slap you back.
I know, boss.
I tried the yes sir boss route. I tried the kiss baby route. I tried the
boss, but I need you to try it one more time.
I'm supposed to do. But now at this time, I'm making $600,000, and you steadily telling me to go gamble a lottery ticket.
I know, boss, but I need you to try it one more time.
For lottery tickets, and I think at this point everybody should understand. Like, damn, look, man, I just blew out Wentz, who's paid more than me.
I basically have, think about this. The division is basically ours. Unless
I'm not playing, unless I'm willing to crash this season, just as Tank was, just as Zeke was, just as Zach Martin was. They're crazy. I'm crazy too. I tried the nice guy route. I see what y'all do with nice. So let me try this other route, which is I'll burn this whole damn thing down. I will burn this whole thing down and let y'all go out there with Cooper Rush. That's what I'll do.
Or you can just say that, or you can just take this mindset. Or you can just take.
Already said this, West Coast, because see, they lied on him anyway. They threw out the $40 million. Dak said himself to clarify that I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for any money where anybody has a ring. So who has the ring? Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. What are their compensations? 35, 33 million. So what he's saying is I'm not wanting 35. I want to be paid over Goff and Wentz. Pay me 34, give me a higher guarantee than them, satisfy my agent, satisfy my future, and we all good. my boy Steven going back saying, no, we don't want to give you market on guarantee, APY, or total contract value. That's a spit in his face.
Especially when other guys have gotten it. Like, you know what I mean?
When other guys have gotten it, that you are greatly outperforming.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's like Amari Cooper. I love my boy Zeke, but if I'm Amari Cooper, I'm like, yo, y'all was 3-5 with Zeke. I'm gonna tell you a stat that nobody's really paying attention with, but the Dallas Cowboys since 2018, we currently 3-9 without Cooper.
Yeah, and we're
3-9. Think about this: we're 7-0 with him, and we're 3-9.
Man, I get with Dak. I go with Dak. If I'm Cooper, I'm gonna go to Dak, and if I'm Dak, I'm going to Cooper and say, bro, let's burn it down, bro, because we see what they do. They only respect tough businessmen. They don't respect nice. They don't respect chivalry. They don't. And it shows you. Tank was first paid. Why was Tank the first to be paid?
Because Tank said, I ain't playing and I'm not getting this surgery unless you pay me.
So was he priority then?
No, Tank wasn't priority. He made himself.
Yes, he was.
Well, he made himself a priority.
He got money.
Yeah, Tank made himself a priority. He made himself a priority. And think about this. And think about this, boss.
He had 2 years on his contract.
Hey, boss,
was he really a priority?
Yeah, but boss, think about this. And when Jerry Jones said this exact same statement about Tank, what did Tank say? Tank said, "That's not my problem."
So he talked like that to them, huh?
Yeah, they told Tank when Tank said that Tank wanted his money. They told Tank that Tank had to, that we had to have enough money for everybody else. You know what Tank said? Tank said, "That's not my problem." That's not my problem. That's what DeMarcus.
If I recall right, Steven liked it, right? He laughed at it like, we'll figure it out then, Tank.
Well, what he did is he backtracked because he said, well, it isn't their, he's right. It's not their problem. It is our job to figure that out. Yeah,
he backtracked.
He backtracked like a mud. That boy was backpedaling like a mud.
So when you threaten publicly to burn it down, they move, huh?
Hell yeah, they move.
And I think that's a going trend. If I go look around the league, let's look at exactly what Russell Wilson did. Russell Wilson said this in 2015. I didn't like the fact that y'all took away my OTA preparation by having me stress about that contract during that period. So y'all paid me before training camp, but I also cherish my preparation of OTAs and the times I'm able to build chemistry with my receivers. So we're not going to do that this time. I tell y'all what, if you don't pay me by April 15th, I'm not saying another word about this contract because it's baggage. This is a quote. This is what he said. Because it's baggage, it brings down the team and the media will pounce on it. I'm not talking about it not even one more day if I'm not enumerated by April 15th.
Yep.
And guess what? By April 16th at 2
that
in the
boy
morning.
Got paid. That boy got paid.
So that's not only the pattern of Jerry Jones and Steven, that's the pattern of all these other billionaires. Let's look at another pattern. Julio was in a holdout, right?
Yep. Julio's been a holdout 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
But it was how he got paid was the funny part. Julio going into the final week of the season wasn't enumerated yet, right? So he says this on that Wednesday. He says, I'm prepared to play. I'm not saying I'm going to play. He was paid the next day.
Yep.
So at some point, you got to show these billionaires you think that you can cheat me out a couple of million because I've never had this money. Well, let me cheat you out a couple of billions that you would lose by me not being on the field. Let's play that game now. And that's sad that sometimes you got to do it like that because some of these owners obviously don't respect good business. They're Scrooge McDuck. You know what I mean? They're Scrooge McDuck. Anybody that watched DuckTales or back in the day, y'all know that boy Scrooge was about that bread. That boy had gold out, a gold vault. And if you say, hey man, can I get that for free? The Scrooge just say, yeah. That's what they are. That's why they billionaires, because they always trying to get everybody for every little dime. And it's like at some point you got to say, no, I know your word too, and I know my word to you. And see, this is the worst part. Dak work to the Dallas Cowboys is $125 million a year in his 15 national endorsements. That's what you gambling with. You want to gamble with that? I'll burn it down, Jerry. Because you playing with my millions like I can't play with your billions. We can play this game together. You can either pay me and we stop the games, or I burn it down. You ain't gonna see me with the Giants. You're not gonna see me with nobody else. Go out there with Cooper Rush. And my boy Mari is with me. We both together because I said myself, both of us deserve it. And the worst part is that he really deserves top market value. He said himself, I don't want what Wilson Nim has. He deserves even more than Russell Wilson right now because that's how the market works. But he even trying to give us a break by saying, give me less than him. Just give me more of a guarantee. You can finance me better by giving me a better or a lesser version of Russell Wilson, at least $1 million less.
It lets you really know how crazy everything is in Dallas is right now, despite us winning, is because of the fact that it makes financial sense because I'm gonna just be real with you guys. You can't franchise tag Amari Cooper next year. You can't. You can, but it would be ridiculously dumb. You wanna know why? Because you're already paying him $14 million for a 1-year deal this year. That is technically almost like a franchise tag because it's a 1-year deal for $14 million. Why would you franchise tag him and give him another 1-year deal for like 17, 18? Because you got to remember, the franchise tag is the top, 5 players divided? There's 3 wide receivers making $20 million right now. So if you franchise tag him, you're going to be paying him like 18, 19 next year for 1 year. So imagine with the 14 and 19, well, what number is that? Can I get a number? Can anybody do the math real quick? 14 and 19, that's like 27, almost $30 million. That's what, $32 million in 2 years? Bruh, that makes no sense to do. So, Dak Prescott contract makes sense because he's your quarterback. Amari Cooper's contract just makes sense because it just makes freaking sense. It just makes sense. It makes sense. What's up with you guys? It's your boy. Why do you have a guy out there paying for $14 million and you gave up a first-round pick for him? A first-round pick is typically 4 years of production. If you don't re-sign Amari Cooper, you traded him away for 27 games, 25 games plus 25 regular season games plus 2 playoff games. That's not enough. You get 30 from playing in a regular season. 2 years.
And you know the worst part about Amari Cooper and them dragging their feet on his deal? It was already a win-win for both parties for them to close it out even at top market value. And this is how you know that it's not about money. And let me explain that because I might have said that too fast. Amari Cooper would have saved us regardless of him having a market-setting contract in 2019's cap.
Regardless, because it ain't $19 million, because it ain't 14,
Right. So this is the deal. Every game that goes by, Dallas loses that value because he's been enumerated at $13.9 million from his 5th year option. Okay. So Dallas is losing its own value by waiting. He was the easiest one to be done. Yeah. So that tells you it's not about money. It's about ego. Yeah. Because if you're losing money by waiting, why are you waiting?
Why are you waiting? That's true.
So it shows you it's more about him trying to be right in the public. Like, I made these guys go underneath market and I promised that I would. No, it's a Hail Mary, low probability attempt, Steven, and give it up. Give it up. It's a bad idea. It was. I commend your big balls in trying it to break precedent, but there's thousands and thousands of players that expect that when I play great, I set the market. That's how it works. Yeah. And you're not going to talk me out of that because I play for Dallas. It's not going to happen. And this is the thing, man. I wrote this, and I'm going to just list it. Maybe we talk about it tonight. But I wrote this. I said this. 5 reasons Stephen Jones' public pressure for team-friendly deals don't hold up. Number 1, the Cowboys have the money. Number 2, And I wrote the details on it. I got the links to Sports Track and everything. That's
most teams that are in this position are in this position because they don't have the money. Like they realistically don't have the money.
Teams that's in this position don't have the money.
They're trying to decide: do I cut this guy? Do I cut these guys just to keep this one guy? Like we're not in that position.
In that position, West Coast. It's nowhere. And now I have an article with the link, so you can't act like you don't know this. I have the specific Sport Tracks number that shows the 2020 projection is $81 million, $140,000, and 99 cents. Damn it! Like even down to the cent. That's how much money we sitting on. So don't say that you're struggling to pay these guys when you're sitting with the money to pay these guys. That's number one. Number two, Prescott pay cut is not the only way to free up cash. Number three, the core players are already signed. Reason number four, the Cowboys build through the draft. And see, people don't understand the significance of that, West Coast. Like, how you gonna tell me I'm gonna build around you if you give me a pay cut, but your long track record says you don't spend in free agency.
Anyway.
So even if I save you money, you're not gonna spend it anyway.
So why should I take less money?
Why would I take less money when you will say we have a DT need, but we go pass on Sue, Daniels, Snacks, and McCoy, who's sitting right there available to lobbying, and we got the money.
Yeah, because think about this: think about this.
So why would I give you a discount?
And think about this: the years that Tom Brady did take less money, go look at the players they were adding. Like they were, so like you can go a little back and forth with like, okay, we added players to do this, but it's like. Dallas, we're not adding players. So you want me to take less money so that you can fit financially better. But I'm not financially better.
He's trying to win a salary cap Super Bowl. Now it's no trophy for salary cap stacking. You stacking money, we see it. We up to 81 million, we see it. Most of our guys signed and we still up to $81 million. So yes, you are a Super Bowl budgeter. But at some point you gotta stop all this penny pinching over your best. And it's retarded at a point. It's like you don't build credit not to get a house. You don't build credit not to get something that you like.
Yeah.
You build your credit so you can finance the things that you like. You got us out of cap hell, Steven, so you can sometimes go pay the market value for the things that you like. But you're not paying the market value for nothing. And if they ask for it, you're throwing them under the bus to your own fans.
And then think about this. You did it to Jalen Smith. You did it to Le'Veon Collins. So we see what you want to do.
Yeah, we see what you want to do. You want guys to settle. And don't be mad at guys because they don't settle. Like, look, I get why Leal settled. I get why Jalen settled. When they both had tragic events as first rounders where they lost millions, it's hard for somebody to lose millions to then gamble with millions.
Speaking from an insurance agent too.
Yeah, that's my business. So I understand.
Hey, because I ain't gonna lie, there was a contract, and I deal with him really closely, so I'm not gonna be naming too many names no more. But there was a contract that I was very upset with. Why? Because I just felt that he could have got way more money. Yeah. And like it took Boss Cowboy breaking this down to me for me to kind of. I still totally disagree with it. Like this to me only explains how they did it. They don't explain why he accepted it, but I understand now
why he did it. Like if you lose millions, it's hard to gamble millions.
Like selling health insurance or life insurance.
Yeah. Like everybody that loses something values it the next time around. You know, and that's just why they was more willing to take a team-friendly deal. But you can't expect everybody to think that way, especially when they never had the bad luck that Jalen and Leal had. You can't, because in Zeke's world, I'm invincible. In Cooper's world, I'm invincible. Everything goes right. In Dak world, I'm invincible. So they continue to bet on themselves. You don't make them dudes take less because they believe in themselves. You pay them what they worth. And the going rate for players of that caliber is market value or breaking a market trend. And that's how it works. And then my last point on why it's obvious that Steven is playing the public is Stephen Jones already missed many opportunities to build better weapons around Prescott while he was inexpensive. Yep. To this day, there is no better value in the whole NFL than Dak Prescott. There is no better value than Prescott. He's giving you 9 figure play for $6-figure dollars. Count 9 figures and then say, but it's only costing me $600,000 or this year $2 million. So 7-figure play for 9-figure performance. If you go look at his performance and because a lot of Dak haters go say, well, he's not a Mahomes. He's not a Brady. Okay, let's stop all this retarded bar stuff. Let's compare him then to Matthew Stafford, Carr, Garoppolo, Kirk, all these guys that don't even have playoff games, but that are enumerated. Goff, Wentz. They got 9-figure contracts. He's still waiting.
I'll tell you this, man, before we get up out of here, man. I'll tell you this on all this contract talk, man. Y'all keep treating these dudes like they that ugly girl at your high school that ain't got no date to the prom. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. She going to show up in that same dress you see. It's going to look totally different when she walk in there with another person on their arm. Y'all be thinking, see, that's what I'm telling you, like, because when you have no fear of losing something, you won't really rush. You won't have no sense of urgency. Y'all out there thinking, oh, Dak is just I'll get a new quarterback. All right, watch when Dak a free agency and free agent next year, and you got a gang of teams like the Denver Broncos, like the Miami Dolphins. Who else are some teams that might be interested in Dak Prescott and like that? I mean, even a Chicago, even I'm pretty sure Carolina. I'm pretty sure Tampa Bay. Like all these teams that have these semi-run quarterbacks who ain't really doing good, they will all, bruh. I know teams right now I believe that'll trade for Dak. Tampa Bay will trade for Dak. I think who else will trade? Denver would trade for Dak.
Denver will be
Bro, teams that are like in purgatory and have went into the draft and have traded. Miami drafted a guy, then they drafted another guy, then they traded for another guy, then they went to the franchise tag. You know what? It ain't working. You know what we gonna do? We gonna do it like Minnesota did. We just gonna buy somebody else's guy that they don't want. And in 2 years, we'll be 7-2. That's what some team is going to think, because they're going to be like, damn, y'all remember when Minnesota was like, they was really good defense, they had Christian Ponder. Who the hell is Christian Ponder? I don't know, but that was their quarterback. And you know what they did? They went and got a quarterback in a division that everybody was whooping on, and that everybody did that. I'm not saying Dak ain't even got that, but I'm just saying. Like, ain't nobody afraid of no Kirk Cousins. But you know what Minnesota said? You know what Minnesota said? He'll upgrade to what we didn't have.
Yep.
If Dak goes to Miami, he's the best quarterback they didn't have since freaking Dan Marino.
Yep. The Bears, the Steelers.
If he goes to Denver, he's the best quarterback they didn't have since Peyton Manning.
And it's the contenders.
If he goes to the Buccaneers, he's the best quarterback they've had. So don't be trying to act like this young man can't get no play.
Oh no, he getting play. Oh yeah, and you right. I think that's the best analogy I heard in about 2 years. Keep treating Dak like he that ugly girl that can't get nobody.
Yeah, keep treating him like he that ugly girl that can't get no date. Keep treating Amari Cooper
like a.
Yeah, and y'all think since he's all quiet, and because I'm gonna tell you something that Tony Romo said, and we're gonna end it there and we're gonna say our highs and goodbyes. Tony Romo said this. Tony Romo said this a long time ago, and I've always said it. He even repeated it again. He said one thing about great players is this. Great players always know they're going to get paid.
I like that.
You want to know why? Because great players know that either you going to pay me. Now, Tony Romo didn't elaborate, but I knew what he meant. What he's saying is either you going to pay me or you going to pay me. But great players always get paid. They always get paid. Want to know why? Because when Dak hits that open market, guess what? There's going to be some teams that are going to be interested in him.
And see, Bernard over here saying we crazy for Dak to get 35 plus.
Honestly, just ask Bernard to explain himself, because it's easy to just jump on the show and just be like, we crazy. But I'm going to
35 plus. Listen, first First of all, Dak ain't asking for 35 plus. He already said that out of his own mouth that he doesn't want money.
We're not saying that he wants 30. He's worth 35 million.
He already said he's worth that. But he's already said himself that he doesn't want to be paid like the guy.
But boss, don't even say all that. Tell me why. I don't even give it. Don't give your explanation. We put enough information out there.
For saying what he said, which is basically he wants to be paid over Wentz and Goff. That's what he's saying, which is 34. And if you think Dak is not worth 34 in today's market, you just ain't been following.
I want to know right now why Dak. I'm interested. I'm curious to know why you don't think he's worth 35 or 36. I'm interested to know.
And then
because my question is this: if you don't pay him, what do you do? For all y'all folks that don't want to pay Dak, what's your contingency plan? Because if your plan B ain't better than plan A, we're going with plan A.
Exactly. And then this is the other thing. People say worth and they don't understand worth. Like, I'm a finance major. That was my degree, okay? It's a finance major. When you say worth, you're talking about return on investment, okay? The Dallas Cowboys have, through Dak Prescott, they're making $125 million from his 15 national endorsements right now. So would you pay $35 million to make $125 million for the next 10 years? Yes, you would. And that means he's worth it. It's easy. So don't say silly stuff like that when you don't understand even the term worth, because worth is about the return that you get from the compensation you make. And there's no better compensation than somebody getting $125 million and only paying 35. Now, if you're talking about, well, it's not worth it today. See, because that's a lot of people don't understand the cap. Every year it's going to go up by $10 million. In the next 6 years, $35 million is going to seem like $14 million. Because every year it goes up. That's how it works. So really just kind of stay with the show, because we educate a lot on this type of stuff. And you can go read some of my old articles where I went over this in detail on how the market works. So like everybody gets in a panic over this X amount. The same people that don't want to pay him 35 are the same people saying he ain't worth number 25. Y'all was saying that damn in February. And you see how the market changed your number and made it go up, though, damn it? Because that's how the market works. After Wentz got paid, after Goff got paid, after all these boys got paid, the market bumped. So now all this $25 million that all these people was talking about just 7 months ago is grossly inflated. It's really that simple. It's finance. It's the market. That's how it works. I'm not going to California and paying a Texas price because the market in California is higher. Period. That's how it works. And I'm not going to say, West Coast, you're a damn fool. How much you pay for your house? You have only how much square footage? You're a fool. No, but West Coast have mountains that I don't have. He have weather that I don't have. He have, I ain't gonna say the other things that he have that I don't have, but West Coast got a lot going that I don't have in Texas. I'm over here hot and humid. He able to open up his garage and do a show.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Y'all see this bit?
That's a different type of weather out there. So when you in a better market, you pay different prices. So like, come on, man. Like, look, man, this ain't the show where we talk stupid on this show. I'm sorry. If you looking for a real dumb bonehead show, this ain't the show. We go talk like real facts on her. We go debate facts, and we ain't gonna let y'all come over here and talk stupid.
Yeah. And we ain't gonna let you leave the show thinking something stupid too. Like, oh, we can just not franchise. We can just not pay Dak, and then we'll just slap that franchise tag on him, and he'll just play on it. Well, I'm gonna ask you guys this: How did that work with DeMarcus Lawrence? Like, that's what people don't understand, that like you have to sign the franchise tag. Like you can't force Dak to take something. You just can't do that. You can't force somebody. You're going to pay on this 1-year deal. You can't do that. And why would Dak play on another 1-year deal again, regardless of how much money it's for? Why would he play on why would he put himself at risk again? That doesn't make any sense. So basically, think about this. Yeah. No. I mean, my thing is this, man. And I'm going to just continue to say this, man. And I feel sorry for Dak but I mean, it's true. The Dallas Cowboys don't value Dak Prescott. They don't. You know what I'm saying? In the back of their mind, they still feel that there is a point of replacement, or there is a point that they might stumble upon something better, because things that they feel are irreplaceable, they pay. They felt Zeke was irreplaceable, so they paid him. They felt DeMarcus Lawrence was irreplaceable, so they paid him. They put Jalen Smith after they got him, so they paid him. Like Zach Martin, they felt that them guys were irreplaceable, so they paid him. Man, they don't value him, man. And I'm sorry, it's crazy because it also falls on Amari Cooper too. You know what I'm saying? Because
Jay, but Jay just said Cowboys been trying to pay Dak, has had
trying
contract
to pay him
already. Can't throw a blank.
And tell Jay to stop believing stuff he hear on the internet first.
Y'all go too far with y'all reaches, man. Listen. None of y'all.
If you believe everything that's go ahead.
Jay, let's just assume that you cut grass, okay? And you cutting grass as a business, and you have been doing a better job than the competitors around there, okay? And let's say your competitor that you're going against is named Cut Grass Company Wentz, okay? Are you going to allow somebody that's pay you $100 to do their yard when they're paying Wentz, who doesn't do as Wentz cutting grass crew, 120? No. The moment you figure out that Wentz cutting grass company is getting 120, you go knock on that door and say, hey, we doing this that Wentz is not doing. We doing this that Wentz is not doing. We doing this that Wentz is not doing. My new price is gonna be 121. Yeah. And guess what? You go demand it.
And then also think about this, man.
I'm happy for your 100. I'm happy.
Hey, and boss, let me tell you this last thing too, man.
You gave me a deal of 100. No, you gonna say no. I'm not gonna disrespect my company, my hard work, and everything that I put in to get paid less than people that I'm outperforming. So to just throw out there, they gave him a contract. Yeah, they gave him an insulting contract. The latest number that they came out with that they offered Dak was $30 million. How the hell you gonna take $30 million when you know Wentz got 32, and when you know Goff just got 33.5?
Hey, and think about this.
Yeah, you could have signed me for 30 if you signed me before them, but now after them, damn it, you paying me more.
Hey, and think about this too, boss. Think about this too. This is after you supported your boy on holding out and getting the max money. So now you want me to go against what I've been telling Zeke for the last 6 months. Remember, Zeke made a very important statement. Zeke said, I had a certain guy who was calling me and told me, don't come back here unless you have a contract. Do you think Zeke would mention that if it was like Kayvon Frazier that told him?
No, it was a big boy.
It was a big boy. It was probably Dak Prescott.
I bet you it was Dak Prescott.
Because he held on to that. That statement is what made Zeke feel comfortable about what he was doing.
Yep.
And the reason why I know it is because he said, don't come back. That means they told him this when he left. Because you're not going to tell someone not to come back and they already gone. You're going to tell them while they're leaving. So I believe, because remember, it was reported that Zeke had lunch. He had dinner with all the running backs before they left to come at the training camp. See, that's what happens. We pay attention to a lot over here. Yeah, he had lunch with those guys.
Yes.
What I'm assuming is he probably had lunch with Dak too. And Dak probably told him, don't come back unless you have a contract. You want to know what? Hold your ground. So that lets me know that Dak already understands that these dudes ain't going to give max contracts. You know what I'm saying? That they going to do that. So how can he encourage his friend to do that and not want that for himself?
Exactly.
Boss Cowboy, let them know they can find you at, man. That's good.
And you can find me at Boss Cowboy, and I just released 2 fire articles. Now, if you want to stay in stupid land, don't go read them. But if you want to be in like knowledge land, go read them. I ain't say agree with them, but just go read them. You ain't got to read. You just read the first sentence and the highlights of it. Because I discussed 2 things in those articles. Because, see, I strongly believe in a knowledgeable fan base. Because, see, I noticed that Jerry and Steven, they play our ignorance. That's why he goes on the fan and he says stuff comfortable, expecting us to believe stuff that really, if you think about it, don't make sense. Like, we are not doing Dak Prescott deal because he doesn't understand that we're trying to build around him. And that's crazy. You don't tell me that when you with $81 million sitting in the bank.
Can I ask you a question? Oh my God, Dak, you could defeat that whole comment right there when he says, "Well, Jim, we got to take money so that you can take so we can build around you." Well, you already paid Zeke, so what much more do I need?
Exactly.
My offensive line is already. Think about this. My entire offensive line is paid. What more do I need? The whole offensive line is paid to 2022.
Years. Cobb is cheap.
Gallup is paid for the next 3 years. Zeke is paid for the next 5 years. Think about this. My fullback who don't
paid for 2 years,
bro. The fullback for the Dallas Cowboys.
The whole offense,
bro.
So
the fullback for the Dallas Cowboys makes more money than Dak Prescott right now, and he has a longer contract. Wow.
It's obvious smoke.
Jameis Adewale is a more valued player than Dak Prescott.
It is, and he did that to get us in our emotions, to be mad at Dak, to start tweeting and hating on Dak and on social media. Dak is a greedy bastard. See, Steven is just trying to look out for the team, and Dak is holding us back. See, Steven want to talk to the stupid crowd. I'm trying to get us out the stupid crowd. I'm trying to get us into the knowledge crowd.
And also, I'm going to tell you guys something, too. Watching, I'm going to let you, hey, make sure y'all share. It says we have 44 shares on here. Hey, can I get all 59 of you guys to just share one time real quick? 1, 2, 3, share. Boom. Now, also, I'm going to tell you guys also, we need to start doing disclaimers. When you guys watch our shows, when you watch the information we're going to, it's not necessarily going to, there's going to be some stuff we agree with. But also, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you're just believing stuff and not researching it for yourself, it's going to be very, very hard to stay engaged with this show. Why? Because, one, it's very important that you remember and understand the things that are going on Dallas Cowboys, because those things, your past will dictate the things that you're doing in the future. So when Jerry Jones makes a statement about those, we're not going to do this and not do that, and then we have a history of them doing the total opposite, it makes you say that's not believable. That's not even believable, because that's not what your history says. Your history says that if Dak just says I'm not coming to practice tomorrow, he'll probably be paid.
Yeah, that's what your history says.
You know what I'm saying? But Travis says he says in the fullback don't even get utilized. Well, the fullback has a 3-year contract right now, and Dak don't.
Ain't that something? And so that's where to find me. Go read those articles, and also share those articles. And let me tell you how to share those articles. Read it, and then post it to some of maybe your favorite groups and a couple of your favorite Cowboy fans, and just say a little something about it. Because that's the whole point of what we're doing. Like, we are on here to spread ideas and to spread stuff that's like true. But if we just sit on this knowledge just because we on the show and we say that was a good show, guys, and walk off and do nothing with it, you didn't help the value that we actually bring to the Cowboys. The value that we bring to the Cowboys is a truly independent voice that's unfiltered, that we're not paid by anybody but you guys. Okay. And because we are paid by you guys and enumerated from you guys, we speak strictly for you guys. We have almost like an American style system of speaking, to where we just say what our constituents really need to hear. And you guys are our constituents, but also a real good constituency is going to also work the ground, and you got to work the ground. So when I write an article or when West Coast put out a fire video, don't just read it and hit the like button. Go one step further, hit that share, and then put it out there and put a couple of thoughts on it. Damn, these was good 5 points by Boss Cowboy. He has a point. Or I agree with 1 through 3. I don't agree with 4 and 5. All right. I don't care. You don't got to agree with all of it, but at least say something. Oh, West Coast, that was a real good point on Williams. I think we should look at Williams.
I want to address this point real quick too. Greg Burnett he's a statement. He says, my biggest fear is that they pay him and he gets hurt straight away. It always seems like that happens to us. Look at Romo and Dez for that. So this is my thing, right? What if I was a guy and you were coming to look for a job and I told you I didn't want to hire you because I thought I might have to fire you one day?
Exactly.
Now,
and that's not always the case.
It's not now. Now, also, you guys got to remember why Tony Romo and Dez got hurt now. Because I think sometimes people just think that people just walk out there on the field with a baseball bat, they break their leg, and then they fall down. Like, people purposely hurt themselves, right? So can we all be under the assumption? Has there ever been a time that you purposely hurt yourself to prevent yourself from working, like break your leg or something like that? Has that ever happened, right? Okay, so we're going to be under the assumption that nobody purposely injures themselves, all right? So first off, they can't be controlled, right? All right, so now let's start with Tony Romo. Tony Romo plays a quarterback position. He was also, pretty damn mobile quarterback, right? So Tony Romo only got hurt doing what? Playing the quarterback position. So it wasn't that Tony Romo himself just walked down the street and just fell down and hurt himself. It was that he was playing a position, a quarterback position that entails him getting hurt. That happened. Now, Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant never got hurt until when? When did Dez get hurt? Because he was pretty damn healthy in 2014. But what happened between 2014 when he led the NFL in total touchdowns in 2015? What happened? He led the NFL in total touchdowns, former receiver with 14, and the Dallas Cowboys said on his final year of the contract, we're not going to pay you. So you know what Dez said? Well, I'm not coming to practice. He didn't come to practice until a week before week 1. Now, if you go look at the history, there is a long history of players who hold out who get injured. To be honest with you, at the specialty and offense position, what Zeke is doing is an anomaly. Because most players who hold out are not good. Why? Because you missed this whole thing called training camp when you're typically getting in shape. You know what I'm saying?
And training camp is to get you ready for the season.
Exactly. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Someone even said that too. Do you think that Zeke's holdout kind of hampered play calling? I say, hey, you know what? Now that I think of it, could have. Why? Because they couldn't completely change the playbook without Zeke. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he's a focal point of the offense. So it makes sense. That makes sense. Right. Now, when you pay someone, you are not paying someone off of what they're going to do. That's the second thing to this conversation. You pay if that was the case, no draft pick would ever get paid in the NFL. Why? Because how could you pay a draft pick more than a guy who's already paying in the NFL? It doesn't work that way. You pay someone off of what they've done. So that's the first thing. This isn't a job like Walmart where you go work for 2 weeks and then they pay you on your third week and then you get paid 2 weeks and when you leave you got a check in the rears. No, these guys have already earned this money. The money that Dak is asking for is money he's already earned. You know, when he was rookie of the year and won those 2 NFC championship games, took you to 2 playoff games in 2-3 years. Yeah, that's what you're paying him for. You're not paying Dak off of what you think he's going to do 5 years from now. That's not how it works. And most importantly, it would be totally dumb to pay a guy give a guy 5-year contract off of 1 year of work. That's why I say I wouldn't pay a quarterback $35 million because you won me 1 Super Bowl. Bro, that ain't enough. That is not enough. Bruh, that is not enough. You play somebody a 5-year contract off of what they've done for at least 3 to 4 years. Anybody can, if that's the case, RG3 should have been one of the highest paid quarterbacks ever. He had one of the best rookie seasons ever. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. We need to get away from this earned mentality. Dak has already earned his money.
And let me add to it.
And then my last thing, if he hasn't, think about this. If that's the case, Patrick Mahomes, what has he earned? How many division titles do he have?
Yeah, and let me add to it.
They both got an MVP trophy. How does Dak get less money than Patrick Mahomes? And think about this. Now Patrick Mahomes can't even stay healthy. Yeah, I'm going to take my headphones off in a minute.
And let me close this out with this. Because, you know, my business is risk because I deal in the business of insurance. And that's a good question. I'm not going to, say, okay, it's not a risk of them getting hurt. That's why in insurance, that's what we do is we look at your history, right? We look at how many accidents that you have, how many fires do you have in your house and stuff, because that points to negligence or decision-making or driving history and stuff like that.
Eagles just traded for a defensive end.
This show can go on another 2 hours. But check this. So when you look at Dak, you got to look at his history, right? And his injury history. So in the league, that's obvious, right? But you can go even further than that. Go look at his injury history and his usage from college. He was 3rd all time in SEC snaps as a running quarterback.
Means he never left the field.
He never left the field and was the primary weapon. Now, let me ask you this. If you're the defensive coordinator and you know this guy right here is the primary weapon and the engine to this no talented team because nobody was drafted with Dak but Dak, okay? So that means the only talent on there was really Dak, right? So if you were scheming against Dak, you know the way to stop them is to stop Dak. So what you gonna do? Send everything at him. So when everybody knew and sent everything at him, he still was third all time in snaps.
He couldn't beat Alabama though. That's what. I know somebody out there saying that though. I know he couldn't beat Alabama though. You know somebody's gonna say that.
And it's not a dumb question. It's
a lot of people that can't beat Alabama.
And I'm just kind of explaining it from like why we should be comfortable paying Dak. Because if you look at his track record, look at even how we use him. He's number one in rushing touchdowns.
21.
And look at what he does in those touchdowns. They are not just touchdowns to where he barely got in. He getting in and punking balls, stiff arming, flexing on them. Like they bouncing off him. My point is this. He's a tank, bro. Don't worry about paying Dak, he is the best investment and probably one of the few that's truly worthy of true guarantee because he's a tank. They put Dak on a quarterback sneak and he gets you 8 yards. So I don't worry about Dak. Now, I would kind of worry about Cooper. Let's be honest.
Cooper been hurt since training camp. Cooper been hurt since West Coast told you all he went down at practice and all y'all said West Coast, you're not telling the truth.
There's a different risk profile with Cooper.
I gotta let that go, huh, boss?
So, no, that's real. And I'm just saying there's a different risk profile. So if I was underwriting Dak, he would get all the top scores in terms of risk, right?
His insurance will be cheaper too.
Oh, his insurance gonna be cheap, dirt cheap, because he's low risk. If you look at Cooper, he's more mid-tier. He's not injury.
And let's just look at some of these quarterbacks that just got paid. Like
he's not beast mode. Because see, beast mode was also kind of like Dak to where for whatever reason, the way they ran the ball, most cats get hurt. They never got hurt. They just God gifted them and it's almost like the movie Unbreakable where that guy could never get hurt. The whole train was wrecked and they said, you was the only survivor and you didn't have a scratch. That's how beast mode is. That's how Dak is. They just built like that. So like, it's a true concern, but it's also when you look at their risk profile, we should also be even more anxious to pay him because we know if you pay him, more than likely you'll get your return on your investment.
Yeah. And most importantly, man, it's like, I mean, you've already seen what your quarterback will do for you when he has Tony Romo breathing on his neck and threatening to take his job. So imagine if you put the pressure of being one of the higher paid quarterbacks in the NFL on his back. Boy, go out there and throw like – you never know, man. My thing is about this is like, you know, I just feel that there's nothing else that Dak can show me. Like, if you don't believe that Dak is your quarterback, then you should be trying to make other moves to get somebody else in here. That's what I believe. Like, you should be at the point of like, we're either gonna pay him or we're gonna get rid of him. But you shouldn't be at the point of we need to see more. Like, you have 3 years. Like, how much more can you see? Like,
man, play ain't nothing else to see.
Like, you should be at the point. Like, that's why now when people like I said like this. People that don't like Dak, I don't try to convince you because you're not going to like him. You've been our quarterback 3 years. If you don't like him up now, then you're not going to like him.
Yeah.
You're just not going to like him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't even, like, some of y'all that be seeing some of this stuff, I just don't even read it because it's just, like, we're past that. We're past that, let him play one more year and see how he do. What? Slap yourself. You go work at your job for one more year and we'll see about paying you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it's no convincing people that don't like Dak now, and we ignore some of the greatest wisdoms that's out there, like Bill, like what he said. He said after 3 years, you know what a guy is. There's no more development for Anthony Brown. He is what he is.
Yep.
There's no more development for Dak. We know what he is.
You know what he is.
Exactly what he is, and it's one of those things to where at this point, like, I'm not going back and forth with people either. If I do, it's just for fun. It's only because I'm messing with you, but it's not because I'm going to be changed or you're going to be changed. You only think what you think. Now, some people actually are changed. People that come on the show, I see their opinions change because they're hearing good information. But there are some people they can hear good information all day and they don't even want the information. You can send them an article and have all the facts. They won't read a word of it because they just want to stay in their opinion.
Yep. mean, y'all already know what it is. We don't do that over here. Over here, we try to as much get. We're gonna provide you. We're gonna provide you guys the information. We're gonna definitely provide you guys the truth, man. It just matter if you're gonna take it or not, man. But hey, but you guys already know what it is, man. Hey, I'm also seeing I'm also looking at seeing some stuff over here by possible trade of Jamal Adams and Carl Joseph and safety. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Y'all ain't got it. Yeah, y'all. I mean, we need a defensive tackle. Get a defensive tackle and start Donovan Wilson and save $50. That's what I say. Start Donovan Wilson, get a defensive tackle, and save $50. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you already know what it is, man. It is your boy West Coast, man. This has been a 2-hour and 30-minute show. That lets you know that we back on it, man. We back on it like we never left. So you already know what it is, man. Never look down because the star is up. Peace.
Man, I got them bubble.
Thank you, folks.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboys Scout.
Appreciate it.
My man West Coast from this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast. Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!